top spot with Concordia, Wisconsin. As meanwhile, the Red Devils 1-4 overall, 0-2 in the conference at the bottom of the pile. And I bring in my partner, Chris Klavinsky. And Chris, the Spartans have put themselves in this position with a big win last week at Concordia of Illinois.
Yeah, that's right. They won 66-3, and they broke a few records on their way too. They most scoring in the game, 66 points, and the largest margin of victory, 63 points. The record of the largest margin of victory was broken, or was set in 1989 versus McMurray, where they scored 50.
Indeed, 53-3.
53-3
over McMurray. I was there for that game down in Jacksonville, Illinois, and the Spartans called the dogs off, as it were, after a while, and they still scored 53 points. Of course, they scored 63 last year for their most points in one game, but they broke that last week with 66, and boy, just about everybody contributed last week in that scoring attack.
We had a total of 12 runners in that game, which has got to be some sort of record.
Indeed.
I don't know the official books on that, but that's a lot of rushers.
Well, the Spartans' total rushing yards last week, 395. That's not actually a single-game record for the school, but pretty darn close to it. They outgained Concordia on the ground, 395-49, and also overall, 508 total net yards for the Spartans to 105 for Concordia. Spartans, you say, total domination.
It's complete domination. And last week, Eureka lost their game against Benedictine, 25-52, and Benedictine was a team that we had a tough time beating. So hopefully, if this is any indication, that maybe we'll have a repeat of last week.
Oh, hopefully, indeed. The Spartans, one thing they didn't repeat last week, which they had problems with in their first 3 games, were turnovers. Last week, 1 interception, 1 fumble, only 2 turnovers. That's a big difference from earlier in the year.
Okay. Well, the first 3 games of the year, they had many turnovers, and totaling 7, I believe. And that was a big key in 2 of their losses. And now they come in last week and they don't have as many turnovers, and they win the game easily.
Yeah, indeed. The very first game against Bethel, the Spartans had 6 turnovers, and boy, a total of about 15 or 16 after the first 3 games. But last week, just a couple of them. The average gain per play for the Spartans last week, 8 yards to 1.9 for Concordia. Again, Spartans just, every time they touch the football, good things happen. Also, they kept their penalties down last week, which was a big thing. Previous games, the Spartans had committed a lot of penalties. Last week, only 5 penalties for 40 yards, and they only punted 1 time all day, so they really did whatever they wanted to with Concordia, and defensively, the Spartans were outstanding as usual. Concordia 1 for 14 in third down conversions over the course of that game. We're all set here for the kickoff. The Spartans won a toss, and they're going to take it. And this is going to be Paulie Forsythe deep for the Spartans. He'll bring it in behind a wall. Out to the 20, cuts to the outside. He's got a lot of running room. He could go a long ways. Just a kicker he's got to try and beat, and he staggers just across midfield. But a nice return finally brought down out there by Tim Cooper, a junior from Coal City. And the Spartans are in great field position to start this game off.
Well, it shows once again that what happened last week was probably a huge confidence builder, and what they're doing now will probably do the whole game and probably put a lot of points on the board.
Well, you got a chance to talk to some of the guys during the week on the Spartan Spotlight, Coach Scott and a couple other individuals as well.
Well, from what I heard just from 2 of the players talking is if they had another big win this season, it would be against this team right here, Eureka. And hopefully that'll be the case. And Coach Scott was pretty confident that they would win this game, so we'll see what happens.
The Spartans looking for another big blowout, and Mylan Jones is going to pick up 9 quick yards, and he's one of those 2 guys you're talking about. He and Tyson LeBlanc were on your show earlier in the week. And
Mylan, a very good young man from Chicago, Illinois. I asked him what advice he'd give to younger players, and he just said have them stick with it. He said he would like to go back to his old schools and help out those younger players because he knows how it is to get through life and it'd be tough.
Well, Mylan Jones again, the ball here is going to have first down yardage. Spartans will move the chains. Mylan last week, 15 carries, 110 yards. Kyle Schrader, 14 carries for 109 yards. Spartans with a couple rushers over that 100 mark. And Mylan had touchdown runs of 3 yards and 5 yards early in that game in the first quarter. Got the Spartans off to the 14-0 start, and they never looked back after that.
And Mylan is the leading rusher for the Spartans here. Total of 255 yards on the year and averaging 5 yards a carry. His longest run being 61.8 yards.
There's Kyle Schrader off tackle. He's going to pick up 5 quick yards. So Spartans looking to knock on the door here right away, marching right down the field. We'll get to this. I was going to say we should say the Spartan offense here. if we don't pretty soon, they're going to be off the field already.
The starting left tackle is Matt Hartzell. The starting left guard is Byron Miguel. The starting center is Toby Nickel. The right guard, Jeff Knapp. Right tackle, David Brumel. Tight end, Jeff Pfeiffer. Quarterback, John Van Opdorp. Fullback, Joe Schmidt. Tailback, Mylon Jones. And wide receivers, Kip Daniels and Tyson LeBlanc.
All right, those are the listed starters for the Spartans. And the quick pitch that time to Kyle Schrader, going to be awful close to that first down marker. And the officials are going to look it over, and they're going to bring the chains out or not. Well, okay, they're going to say the Spartans are short by about a foot or so. Third and less than a yard, to say the least. They'll bring it up to the line again. Van Opdorp in the shotgun. Gets the hand signals from Paul Hefty. Now he'll go under center. Spartans go without the huddle as usual. Call it from the line of scrimmage, and Van Opdorp looks to change things around a little bit. Backs to the eye. This is Mylon Jones, second man through. Nobody even touches him well through the line, and he's going to pick up 3 quick yards and another easy first down for the Spartans. So they, boy, just taking command early. Last week the Spartans really dominated in the first down category.
22 first downs to 6 Concordia had. That's just huge. If you control first downs, you're going to score a lot of points, and that's what the Spartans did right there.
Indeed, indicating how dominating Aurora was last week out in River Forest, Illinois. I shouldn't say out, actually more in towards the city. First and 10 for the Spartans at about the 21. Here's a handoff the left side. Bouncing off tackle is Joe Schmidt, and he's going to be close to that first down.
And the Spartans are sticking to their game plan, being one of the true running teams of their conference, and they haven't even passed the ball at all in this game.
And they haven't needed to. Spartans traditionally, Jim Scott, head coach here for the Spartans. He's been their head coach ever since they started football up again in 1986, and they have traditionally always run the football and run it well. And here it is again. Kyle Schrader close to the first down, but knocked back hard tackle right there by Joel Sondergroff.
And the theory of the running game is the more you pound the ball in there later in the game, the more it's going to pay off. And right now we're seeing it's paying off already, so it's kind of scary to think what's going to happen in the second half.
Yeah, the Spartans wearing down this Eureka defense. And Eureka, on the flip side, is going to try and throw the football a lot in contrast to the Spartans today. And if they get behind early, which has been the case all season for them, they're going to have to try and throw the football.
But one thing is, if Eureka gets behind and they're not leading in the second half, they're probably not going to score any in the second half. The Spartans have yet to allow anyone to score on them in the second half at all. So Eureka needs to come out shooting. They need to come out shooting fast to be in this game.
All right, there's a huge play on 3rd and 1. Great defensive stop that time. Like Jeff Lopez, sophomore linebacker from Miami, Florida, shooting through to make the tackle. So now the Spartans will lose a yard. It'll be 4th and 2.
Back to Eureka's passing game. They got a total of 983 yards for the year in passing, averaging 196 per game. Their quarterback completions is 44.7%. They've gotten 8 passing TDs.
Here's a pitch. Mylon Jones is going to have first down yardage, bowling forward inside the 10-yard line. The Spartans are going to be first and goal, so nice 4th down play for Aurora. Well, you mentioned that. The Spartans, we talked about last week, and they're running the football. They completed 6 passes, 6 out of 14 last week, between John Van Opdorp and his backup, Garrett Meyer, freshman from Hampshire, who got some snaps last week. But those completions accounted for 113 yards, and 6 different guys caught the football.
Which is a very good thing for this team, as long as they're able to spread the ball out between different receivers. And then the other teams have to respect the pass and the rush. And it's going to be tough for them if the Spartans are doing good rushing here.
Right now, they're not showing any respect to Eureka as they're just running it right down their throat here, so to speak. So we're 2nd and goal at the 5, pick up about 3.
Well, so far this year, Eureka's allowed 265 yards per game, and that's going to play very well into Aurora because they've gained 200 yards per game.
Van Opdorp changes things up at the line of scrimmage. Here we go, handoff, right side, Anthony Armstrong, and he's going to be into the end zone. So the Spartans are on the board. Just 5.5 minutes gone in this game, and it's already 6-0 Aurora U.
Well, it seemed like a cold day out, but I think the Spartans are starting to heat things up.
Indeed, it looks like it's a nice, warm, sunny day, but not quite the case. A little nippy out there, but Spartans are heating things up here to start. On for the extra point attempt. Van Opdorp to hold. Here's the kick. And is up and good from Ryan Glab. And so the Spartans jump ahead 7-0 here with 9:28 mark of our first quarter. Aurora U 7, Eureka nothing. And boy, that didn't take long at all, did it?
And now we're going to get to see the defense come up, and hopefully they can put a good game together and get the ball back in good position. Let that offense just roll right through once again.
Well, over the years, the Spartans have not perennially had very good kickers. They have had some good ones, but has not been a strong point, especially the last couple seasons in kicking field goals and extra points. But last week, Ryan Glab emerged, and boy, he had a bunch of extra points and a field goal,
which is a great thing to see. I mean, especially after that Benedictine game when no kicker could do anything for either team. And he comes in the week after that and says he has something to prove, and he proved it.
Indeed, he connected on 7 extra points last week, 7 of 7, and a 29-yard field goal. Here he is to kick off now. Low line drive kick and a bounce at about the 30. Going to be picked up by whom? They're all of a sudden a little indecision on their 2 return men, and it's finally Josh Champion, freshman from Chinoa, who snares the football, and he'll get it back out to about the 30. Actually, just right on that 30-yard line. That's where Eureka will start.
And Aurora's defensive squad is getting on the field now. Starting at left end is Todd Bassage, left defensive tackle, Joe Thompson, right defensive tackle, Corey Harris, right defensive end, Jeremy Benson, the linebacker, Brian Rector, Chris Cleary, Jason Naraki, cornerbacks, Robert Watson, and Craig Reviter. At strong safety, we have Tony Herbie, and free safety, Kip Daniels, Iron Man of the team.
All right, this is quarterback Rutledge. Brett Rutledge will hand off into the pile, and it goes nowhere. Well, there's one guy out there real hard to miss on that football field right now. He's head and shoulders bigger than everybody else out there, and he's going to come off the field right now. Big number 79, Jeremy Weiberg, junior from Pekin, Illinois, for Eureka. Boy, he's a big guy.
6'7", 365 pounds, and he just towers over everybody on that field. And to have to deal with him is something tough. It's got to give the quarterback some insurance, though.
Wait, how do you find a uniform big enough to fit a guy like that? There's probably a couple of them stitched together to make that. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Looking to pass, looking to the left side, gets it off, in the crowd, nice grab, gonna be first down yardage as Eric Seifert, a senior from, I believe that's Minooka, or Minnock. I've never heard of Minnock. That might be a misprint here on our roster, but indeed a nice play there as Rutledge rolls to his left and throws a bullet in between people for a first down.
Well, they're starting to warm up their passing game, and Aurora has allowed 160 yards per game in passing, with Eureka gets about 196. So it's pretty even, and they'll probably get their average unless Aurora steps it up here.
1st and 10 at the 41. Hand off the left side, not a whole lot of running room, but he is going to make the corner there as Greg McBroom, junior from Gridley, Illinois. And
looked like about a gain of 4 there. 4 or 5.
Indeed, he's going to get about 5 yards before he's run out of bounds right in front of the Aurora bench. Again, you're watching Aurora University Television live Saturday, October the, hold on a second, what is the date today?
October 7th.
October 7th, I was going to say 6th there for a second. That's right, next Friday is the 13th. That begins a lot of homecoming festivities around here over the weekend for Aurora U. Here's hand off the right side again. This is McBroom, and he's going to run out of room this time and lose yardage. Great pursuit by the Spartan defense.
Eureka, not a running team, only gaining about 81 yards per game, and Aurora's allowing 136, but with their defense and this running game, I don't think they're going to get 136.
They're not going to do it that way. They're going to lose a yard, and it'll be 3rd and about 7 from their own 45-yard line. Darryl Crouch, the head coach for these Red Devils.
I have a feeling what the Red Devils are doing in this game is trying to run early, so the Aurora defense respects the run, so they're able to open up that passing game that they seem to be so good at, or better at than the run game.
Well, the Spartans have seen a lot of outstanding throwers and receivers here already. Rutledge in trouble. He's going to scramble. He's going to get a first down as he lunges across into Aurora territory all the way to the 44. And boy, he showed some pretty good agility there.
In about 10 yards, he he eluded that sack there. Could have been a very costly sack, and gets the first down for his team. And close to field goal range, another 20 yards maybe.
6'3", 200-pound senior from Farmer City, Illinois. Just straight down Route 47. An hour's drive or so.
And from what I understand, it's my job to find that place.
Well, I know where it's at. Been there before, but it's been some time since I've been down that way. And off goes nowhere. Well, if you head down to U of I for any events, that's usually if you're out this way, you go down Route 47. You gotta go through there. This is just a couple of stoplights and in the road there, and you get it's not a big place to say the least.
And hopefully you'll see a sign when you get to it.
Well, you certainly see some grain elevators and some farm tools, that's for sure.
A lot of John Deere and Caterpillar.
A lot of tractors. Well, he's going to give him a yard on that play, second and about 9. Nearing the 6-minute mark here of our first quarter at Aurora University.
And what seems to be a very fast-paced game, or at least what the clock says anyways.
Well, indeed, both teams running the football a lot, and the clock keeps running. Boy, oh, what a great move, and he's still on his way down inside the 20, the 15, and finally brought down by Jason Araki. And Greg McBroom just changed directions there. He saw nothing on the left side, and he made a big gainer out of nothing.
And a great pursuit by Jason Araki coming out from the back of the field and chasing him down. That's what we like to see out of our linebackers, being able to catch up to those running backs who are always fast.
Boy, the defensive line really closed things off on the left side, and McBroom noticed it, recognized it right away, switched directions, and caught everybody going the other way. And luckily, like you say, Naraki fast enough to track him down. But they've got 1st and 10 at the Aurora, probably about the 12-yard line here. So Eureka knocking on the door. Rutledge fakes the handoff, looking left. Here comes the pressure. He'll get it away. He's going to way overthrow a receiver there just to get rid of it.
Well, he had 2 receivers and about 3 or 4 defenders over there. He probably did the smart thing by just throwing it out. Doesn't want to get that costly interception in. They're so close to scoring.
Well, I was mentioning that the Spartans have seen some great passing teams here so far this year. Got some of the national rankings in Division III in several categories, some familiar names. But we got a 2nd and 10 play that we'll get to first here. 2 wideouts either side, looking left. There's a quick and slant pattern again, caught by Eric Seifert, and he fumbles the football. The Spartans have it. What a huge break for Aurora U. I didn't see who made the hit, did you?
I think it was number 48.
Ryan Richter. Ryan Richter with a hard hit, popped the ball loose. Spartans jumped on the football. That looks like Robert Watson. No, it's Craig Rivetter comes out of the bottom of the pile with the football, and the Spartans have it. What a huge break. 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
And hopefully that's going to be the song of the day. Just fumbling a Eureka team.
Well, turnovers have killed the Spartans early in the year, but they just get a big one back right there. And I was just about to mention the passing attacks that Aurora has faced this year. You look on the national leaders in receptions. Number 2, tied for number 2, is Aaron Paulin from Concordia, Wisconsin. As you see, 1st down play, Mylan Jones doesn't get much out of that. But he's got 39 receptions for 391 yards, and we will see him the last home game of the year here at Aurora U on November 4th. But the Spartans have already seen Sean Emerson from Illinois Wesleyan. He's tied for 7th in the nation with 34 catches, 467 yards. And number 11 on the list is Eric Carlson from Bethel, Minnesota, who the Spartans saw in the opening week of football up in Minneapolis, or well, near Minneapolis, where the Spartans opened the season at Bethel. 2nd down, handoff again. Mylan Jones struggles his way back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 2nd and about 10. Or rather 3rd, I'm sorry.
The Spartans need to get some breathing room here, maybe. They don't want to have to punt from so far deep into the end zone. That's asking for a blocked punt right there. A score easily for the Eureka Red Devils.
Well, not only that, we do have a fairly strong wind. Not a real strong wind, but definitely enough to affect the football. And it's blowing from north to south right into the face of the Spartans. So big 3rd down play, 3rd and a long 9. Spartans at their own 6-yard line. Handoff left side. Anthony Armstrong, big hole. He's going to get the first down all the way out to the 20-yard line. The Spartans get that breathing room that we were just talking about that they needed.
That's what they needed, up to the 20. And now they can pound the ball straight into the end zone like they did the first drive. Which is a great thing about the running game. Just keep pounding it. Eventually it's going to work, and it's already working.
It certainly is. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Aurora U continues to move the chains here today. And just run it right at the Red Devils. So 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Spartans. Again, I'm Steve Moga, along with Chris Klavinsky and our director, Matt Neller. So Aurora University Television bringing you Division III college football. Anthony Armstrong again, quick gain of about 5 yards.
What we have yet to see in today's game is Van Aptort use a shotgun, which we saw a lot in the Benedictine game. And that's just something you don't use when you're using the running game, and they don't have to pass, so they're not gonna.
Indeed, they don't have to. If they continue, though, if they start stacking it up at the line, I'm sure sooner or later Paul Hefty's going to pull something out of the hat, some sort of trick there. You see him right there, the offensive coordinator. And you'll see somebody all of a sudden break free maybe for a long pass. Mylan Jones, they shoot through. Nice tackle. Huge.
He was just about to hit that hole really hard, too, and just taken down by number 35 and 42 for the Red Devils.
Also 97, Bill Lyons, a junior from Atwood, Illinois, flew through there to make a hit. Those three guys wrestle him down to the ground quickly. So 3rd and 5, again, another big 3rd down play. Again, the Spartans looking not only to keep the chains moving, but to get a little more breathing room to give Ryan Dexter, their punter, who's been pretty good so far this year, give him an opportunity to punt the ball away and not have to get a long boot into that wind. There's a fake and the draw on Mylan Jones. It goes nowhere. Almost an offsides on the Red Devils. 3 players for them jumped, but they got back in time. So it'll be 4th down at about 4, and the Spartans, Ryan Dexter will come on to punt.
And he's already meeting his punt quota from last year.
Well, he didn't get much exercise last week. 1 punt for 33 yards. That's nice to see.
Yeah. And hopefully this will be his only one for the day. But you can't score every time you touch the ball. That's just something you have to live with. That's why we have punters.
End over end punt, gonna hit at about the 45, still bouncing, and Spartans are gonna down it. About the 42-yard line is Robert Watson there for Aurora, and that's where the Red Devils will take over. Well, the Spartans next week take on Lakeland College from Wisconsin. 1:30 p.m. kickoff. We'll have that here for you here on Channel 17, and it's all part of homecoming weekend for Aurora University. A lot of things going on that we'll get to in a little bit. And then the last home game is November 4th versus Concordia, Wisconsin. That could be for the conference title. If things continue the way they have. Quick dump out to the right side, and this is Brett Burkett, junior from Cornell, Illinois, who really goes nowhere as the Spartans jumped on that right away. Martin Kern over on that side, among others.
And the Red Devils trying to heat up their passing game, though. What they really need to get the offensive points on the board.
Quick rundown of Eureka's games so far this year. They beat Monmouth in the first week, 26-20. Lost to Augustana, 40-6. Lost to Milliken, 60-14. And lost to Greenville, 29-24. And lost to Benedictine 52-25 last week. Broom goes just about nowhere.
And they're not exactly a scoring team or a good defensive team, I should say. Allowing 40 points, 60 points, 52 points. Something that the defensive coordinator has got to not be happy with.
Certainly makes it tough on your offense. Their one and only win, they held their opponent to 20, but everybody else has put some points on the board against them, including Greenville. Greenville, a little bit of a surprise at 3-1 overall, 1-1 in the Illini-Badger Conference. They have been really down the first couple years of this conference. Oh, here comes a blindside sack. Big play for Joe Thompson and company. Boy, take your pick. Benson, Bassich, and also Andrew Gerhardstein was there as well. All 4 guys. Which one do you give the sack to? Do they give out quarter sacks? I never heard that stat before. I heard half a stat, but
Well, Benson's the captain, so I'm going to give it to him.
Okay. Not only, oh, here comes the snap, and almost Spartans put a little pressure on Kip Daniels at about his own 34. Tries to dance away, and he's going to go backwards and lose about 5 yards. So the Spartans will take over at about the 27, 28-yard line. But,
taken down by number 47 of the Red Devils, Tim Cooper.
Tim Cooper, mentioned before, a junior from Coal City. You see a lot of smaller town players on the Eureka roster. Eureka out there a little ways, to say the least. Western part of Illinois. And what's Eureka famous for again? Some guy by the name of Ronald Reagan went to school there, is that right?
Not sure.
I think so.
Or vacuums. Can't think of which one.
Well, the last play of our first quarter is Kyle Strader's probably going to get no gain on the play at all. So that is the end of our first quarter of action here at Aurora University as the Spartans lead Eureka College 7-0. And again, that first quarter, as we have a penalty, a legal procedure against the Spartans. We'll see exactly how that plays out. But Spartans have dominated things here in this first half, although Eureka did move the football when they had it and were in striking distance before they fumbled at the Aurora 5.
And that first quarter didn't even seem like it happened. It went so fast. They've been running the ball line, eating up that clock.
Well, you're not kidding. That was one of the fastest quarters I think I've ever seen here.
If we have a game like this all game, it's going to be we're going to be out of here at 2.
Well, it may not be that quick, but after the penalty, it'll be 1st and 15, so they'll run this one last play with no time on the clock at all. The penalty, you cannot end the quarter necessarily. You're there. The officials blew it dead before that play, so here we go either way. Van Opdorp rolling, looking long. He's got Foley force another. Oh, nice defensive play. Batted away at the last second there. Number 18, Billy Powers.
From Smithton, Illinois.
Well, the senior came up with a big play. He was beaten, but the ball underthrown as Van Opdorp rolling to his left, throwing across his body and throwing into that wind. Couldn't get quite as much on it, and everybody had to try and stop and come back to the football. And boy, Powers just turned around, and the ball was right there, reached up and batted it away. He almost didn't see it, but being right in front of his bench, you don't think his teammates helped him out? Probably yelling, turn around, it's coming, here it comes.
It's probably one of the things that did it for him, and Coach Scott probably just wanted to take that chance there, thinking that they wouldn't expect a play like that. Fortunately, it didn't pay off, but we're still winning 7-0.
Indeed, 7-0 Aurora U after one quarter. And we'll switch ends of the field here. Beautiful sunny day here at Aurora University in the western side of Aurora, Illinois. Chris Levinsky, junior communications major from Geneva, here along with me. Our director, Matt Neller. Oh, by the way, I'm Steve Moga. Thanks to all of you for tuning in to watch Spartan football on Aurora University Television, Channel 17.
And it's a little bit chilly out today. I'm happy to be up here in the booth and not down there where the players and the cameramen and the fans are.
You're not kidding. I tell you what, I was at Wheaton North High School last night helping out AT&T do their game of the week, Wheaton North and Glenbard East, and it was a little cold, to say the least. I was down in the field the entire night. Well, you know, if it had been cold for a few weeks, I think our bodies would be a little more used to it, but even though it's not that cold out, it sure feels a lot colder. Oh, wobbly pass, partially batted away at the line of scrimmage. It's going to go incomplete, intended for Tyson LeBlanc over in this side. This will be 3rd and 10. Suddenly the Spartans go to the air here and had no success.
And usually when you throw Tyson LeBlanc, he's going to catch it. He's a team's leading receiver, along with Kip Daniels.
Tyson and Kip, both captains on this team, along with Jeremy Benson and Brian Richter, the 4 Spartan captains this year. Well, 3rd down and 15. This time into the shotgun, first time today. Van Opdorp rolling. Here comes the blitz. He rolls left to get away from it. He's got a receiver, LeBlanc, right there. Just past the first down, and he's got it. Boy, what a great play.
And you'll notice on the shotgun, when the quarterback's back, he lifts up his leg and sets it down. That signals to the center that he's ready for the ball, which is great because if you're standing back so far, you can't exactly yell, hey, give me the ball.
Yeah, a lot of times You know, it doesn't get real loud here, even though we have some very vocal fans, but it's not like you're in a big stadium where it's hard to hear, but at the same time, that's a great visual cue. And off to the right side, just a few yards, couple yards maybe there for Anthony Armstrong. Tyson LeBlanc was honorable mention Illini-Badger All-Conference last year. 29 catches for 485 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rolling left, Van Opdorp looking long. He's got a receiver, but he's going to way overthrow Rob Bigham on the fly pattern. Oh man, that had 6 written all over it. He hits him in stride a little more. Well, you know, you change ends of the field and all of a sudden the wind's at your back. You don't know your own strength on that.
And Rich Bigham has caught 4 passes this year for 56 yards, averaging 14 yards carried. Hasn't gotten a touchdown yet, and that was his pass.
That was the one indeed.
That was his first touchdown of the year for him. Overthrown just a bit.
Well, hopefully he'll get another chance soon. 3rd and 8.
Hopefully right here.
How about it? Spartans at the 42, 43-yard line. Shotgun again, Van Opdorp. Rolls away from pressure. He's going to get hit hard and sandwiched back of the original line of scrimmage.
Taken out by big 97 Bill Lyons. 6'4", 285 pounds.
285. Dane Simpson, 240. And John Van Opdorp, 175. It doesn't seem fair, does it? He got sandwiched. He got sandwiched big time there, and those two guys. Just glad he got up and walked away. Okay.
There's Coach Scott for us.
Quick shot of him anyway. Here's Dexter's punt, left footer, end over end punt. Going to bounce at about the 20. Spartans are going to surround it there, and down as this continues, gets a Aurora roll inside, almost to the 10-yard line. So they're in great position here as Eureka will start at their own 10-yard line.
I think they're trying to get number 9 Josh Champion for the Red Devils to pick that ball up so they could clobber him a little bit. Didn't work though, but now the Spartans are set up very well defensively.
Let's see if the Spartan defense can make some adjustments after that first series. Although they came off the field happy because they had just recovered a fumble, they got an earful from Coach John Cooper, the defensive coordinator. Let's see if they make some adjustments here, because Eureka was going in to score last time. They marched right down the field with the football. We're looking to even this game up before they fumbled at the 5. Hand off inside, goes virtually nowhere again for Greg McBroom. Look at some of the numbers here, Chris, before you get into that, of the Illini-Badger Conference. Spartans 4th in total offense. Eureka is 6th. Team defense, total defense. Spartans are 3rd there. Holding their opponents to 296 yards per game, total yards. That's passing, rushing as well. Eureka is dead last, giving up 465 yards a game. 2nd and 9, man in motion. That side, it goes the handoff through the hole. Nice hole there, a nice little run that time by McBroom. A little bit different there, the junior from Gridley, Illinois, which is also right down Route 47, I believe, not far from Farmer City.
A lot of small towns down Route 47 here. I guess they get those big football players from those small farming communities.
Football, a lot of those towns is all that's going on, I tell you what. It has some good small football teams in the state of Illinois. Class 1, 2, and 3A, and next year the format will go to 8 divisions, so divide things up a little bit more and give some more teams an opportunity to make the playoffs. This McBroom, this time he'll jump to the outside, flag goes down, got to be a hold somewhere, I would imagine, when he tried to change direction, and the official is going to discuss things.
Number 76 for the Spartans, Corey Harris, would be flipping back to the huddle a little bit. Let's hope that he's all right.
Well, I pulled out that list of officials. I don't know where I put it now. Indeed, it is going to be a holding call. There it is. Holding call against Eureka. The Spartans declined because it was a loss of 5 in the play, so it'll be 2nd and 15 at the 15-yard line for Eureka. Well, our referee today is Red Ryan, the umpire Cal Boforus, linesman Craig Ochoa, line judge Bob Nowazik, and side judge Terry Baker, field judge Don Swanson. There's a gain of about 5 as looks like Chris Cleary came in there with a tackle. It'll be 3rd and about 10 for Eureka. Are they actually going to call it 3rd and 11? 11 and a half minutes in a running clock. There you see some of the Spartans out on the sideline.
You really got to feel for Jeremy Benson because he's got to go against big number 79 for those Red Devils. And that's got to be a tough assignment for the day.
Awful big body. You're not going to go through him. You just got to go around him. And that's what Benson does. And this play goes around him. Here he comes and almost gets to the quarterback. Rushes the throw and it's incomplete. So it's going to be 4th and 11 and they'll be punting into this wind.
Jeremy Benson and Tom Bassett just were right close to that sack. Almost had him down. They got it enough so we couldn't get that pass off.
Well, Kip Daniels is going to go back to about his own 45. He could probably move up. He's kicking into this wind. And they're looking for the fake perhaps, and there it is. The ball, pretty good kick into that wind. Going to land about the 42. Gets a great bounce for Eureka and go out of bounds right at midfield. That's where the Spartans will take over in pretty good position.
Very good position. And with the running game, they started out around the 50-yard line for their first drive. And now here, their 3rd drive, they could easily score if they stick to that running game.
Pretty nice kick by Josh Champion.
And we saw a lot of passing in the last drive, which will maybe spread out that Red Devil defense to give more running room.
First and 10, Aurora right at midfield. Fake the handoff, rolling right, Van Opdorp. He's got a receiver there. Out of the backfield is Anthony Armstrong. He's going to be close to the first down, hauled down, wrestled to the ground by Joel Sonderoth.
Spartans able to get some passes off there. I still have yet to see the Red Devil defense back up a little bit on that offense, on that line of scrimmage there to protect that passing game. Hopefully they'll do that soon so we can get a running game back.
Well, indeed. I knew it was somewhere in here. Eureka College's most well-known graduate, class of 1932, Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States. Anthony Armstrong's going to have first down yardage and then some all the way to the 30-yard line. So Spartans go back to that ground game, start moving the chains.
Anthony Armstrong is our 4th leading running back. It's a total of 81 yards on the year. And hopefully today that'll jump up a good number.
Indeed, Ronald Reagan often remarked here, it says in their media guide, that everything good in my life began at Eureka College. Well, right now, everything good is happening for the blue side of the field. Here's the Spartans move the football and look to score again. There's a pass. Tyson LeBlanc at the 15 is complete. He'll stumble inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. The Spartans pick up another first down and looking to add some more points to the board.
Tyson LeBlanc having a very good game. That's his 2nd catch for the day. Again, they've all been a little bit low, but he's gotten on his knees. He grabbed that ball, make sure that he can get it. Now the Spartans in scoring position.
Come on, Brett. Come on, man.
Daryl Crouch in his first season for these years. Oh, was a fumble on the inside there. Scramble for the football. Joel Schmidt was the ball carrier, but it bounced right away from him.
Red Devils signaling it's their ball, and let's see what the
official says 2nd down, and I didn't see which Spartan came out of there with it. Maybe that's Mylan Jones. But they're going to lose about 2 yards, 2nd and about 12, as I was going to mention. First-year head coach for these Red Devils, Daryl Crouch, and so far things haven't gone very well for them. Here again, they came into today 1-4.
He was probably pretty happy with his first home victory. The rest of the season just hasn't been so great for him.
No, it has not. They've lost 4 in a row and have not looked good in doing so. Anthony Armstrong is still bowling forward, and he's in. Touchdown! What a great run by Anthony Armstrong. 13 yards. And the Spartans are on the board again.
And that's his first touchdown of the year. That'll bring him well over 100 yards total.
Well, actually his 2nd one today, but the first 2, like you are right, of the season. 13-yard run this time, 5-yard run last time.
Well, I'd be surprised if he didn't get player of the day from the Spartans because he's just been doing great.
Glab's kick looks good, and it is. The Spartans have found themselves a place kicker, and looks to be a pretty good one. And not only that, he's a freshman, folks, so you're going to see him for 4 years. He has won this job, and seems to be a pretty good one, and it's something that the doctor ordered because the last 2 years have been tough, especially last year. The Spartans missed an extra point every single game, I believe. Memory serves me correct. We're going to see if we got a replay here of that touchdown run. As you see, happy Spartan offensive players taking a break on the sideline. 9:12 to go here till halftime. It's 14-0 now, Aurora University. And here, take a look at it again. There you see Van Opdorp changing things up at the line. Hands it off, and there goes Armstrong off tackle and spins away and just lunges in, dives into the end zone.
Does the old spin-a-rooney and dive. That's something only the coaches can teach you.
Josh Champion, Brett Burkett deep for the Eureka for the Red Devils. High end-over-end kick. This is going to be Burkett at about his own 9-yard line. Glab got the foot there too with a little wind in his back. He's going to cut all the way across field, spin away from one tackler, and is finally going to get piled up at about the 20-yard line. So, well, he ran a long ways to get about 6 yards.
It was a good 6 though for the Red Devils, having a hard time getting their yardage in the game. Aside from that first drive, they just haven't been able to do anything at all, which is what we always like to see.
Indeed, so it's 1st and 10 from the 20.
9 minutes left in the half. Spartans lead 14-0.
Spartans have, like you say, asserted themselves and taken that 14-0 lead. See if the defense can keep them off the board in this first half, and that would set the tone here for the second half as well. Quick pitch out. This is the first time we're going to see this number all day long is Heath Wilson, sophomore from Basodam, Illinois, and he is hit hard and is probably going to get no yardage at all. Heath at 5'7", 214, a little fire hydrant. Indeed, he got no gain on that play. 2nd and 10. There was no surprise there to the Spartan defense.
Well, you know what they say about 5'7" running backs? Nothing.
Unless your name is Barry Sanders. 2nd and 10.
He was taller than 5'7", wasn't he?
Well, they might have listed him a little taller than that, but he wasn't much. This is a quick pitch to the other side. Again, Heath Wilson, he's going, what's going on here, guys?
He's just going backwards. I think maybe they got this whole concept wrong. Maybe that's why they're not winning many games.
Well, all right, 2nd and 12. He did lose a couple of yards. Boy, the Spartan defense here just, you think they're going to pass this time? What do you think? 3rd and 12. They've thrown the ball with some success earlier on. They ran the ball a little bit, keeping the Spartans defense honest in their first drive, but they haven't moved the ball much since then.
Well, they got 2 receivers out on the same side, so.
Looking, here comes the rush, and they're going to bury him. Another loss. Another sack for the Spartan defense.
Kind of feel bad for the Red Devils, like maybe one of us should go down there and they need to go the other way on the field.
Indeed, they're going backwards, and it's Joe Thompson and Ed Bassich there among the others. And, you know, you bring up the situation, the Spartans knew it was coming, and they just came with a blitz, all-out blitz, and everybody got in there. So again, Josh Champion is going to punt, this time standing at about his own 1-yard line. Kip Daniels at midfield. 4th and 16 play, they'll punt it away. Nice high kick, Kip Daniels. And there's a defender right in the way. He does make the catch at about the 41-yard line. Robert Watson was
That was a
fighting
great catch, actually.
Yeah, fighting, blocking with Jason Wilt, senior from Walnut, Illinois. And
looks like that flag will be against the Red Devils.
indeed, Wilson, or rather Wilt, I should say, was right next to Kip Daniels. As a matter of fact, made contact with him before he caught the football, which is the thing. You've got to give him a yard or so, I believe, the ruling to catch the football.
And that might even been Kip's doing there because he kind of dove into it. Probably a heads-up play by Kip to get that extra yardage out of that play.
Indeed, it's just a 5-yard penalty, not giving him enough room to catch the football. So we're 1st and 10 for the Spartans at the Eureka 36-yard line.
And it brings us 5 yards closer to that next touchdown that we're searching for.
Indeed, I didn't think Kip called for a fair catch. If he did, that contact would have meant probably a little bit more, but yeah, the defender, the coverage team, they got to know where the football is at. That's their job, and he didn't do it.
Joe Schmidt with that carry. He's gained a total of 142 yards so far this year with 1 touchdown, averaging 5.2 yards per carry.
Well, last year, these two teams met. It was a hard-fought Aurora win, 18-15. Very close game.
It doesn't look like that's going to happen this year.
And Opdorp looking long, throwing. He's got a receiver and just knocked away. Another great play by Billy Powers because Tyson LeBlanc was open at about the 7-yard line.
And if John Van Opdorp can get that ball over the head of the DBs, Tyson LeBlanc has a couple inches on him. And he could probably jump up and reach for that. But not when the pass is low like that. Just something to maybe work on during halftime and let them know about.
Well, it's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
And there's number 13.
Garrett counter play, and Kyle Schrader gets tripped up after only a gain of 2, so maybe 4th and 5 at about the 30-yard line, or 4th and 4. Spartans look to go for it. 4-down territory with a 14-point lead.
Well, they're in a bad territory. You can't exactly punt it without it going in the end zone. You can't make a field goal from that range, so the only other option is just to go for it. Hope that it pays out.
Here we go, 4th down play, rolling left, Van Opdorp looking, got a good protection. Now he's going to step up, and he's not going to make it to that 1st down marker. He just hesitated a little too long to make a run for it. Hit hard there, and going to be short.
Just about a yard shy of that.
Indeed, the Red Devils will take over.
We got about 5:43 left in the half. Just a fast game all around.
Last year, the Spartans were 8-2, undefeated in the Illini-Badger Conference. For the 2nd consecutive year, 2 conference championships in a row at 7-0 each. They're 2-0 already. Here looking for their 3-0 third win here this year, which of course would be 17 in a row. Right now they got 16 in a row, and looking to add to it. The flip side, Eureka was 4-6 last year, 3-4 in the conference. You get about a 3-yard pickup there. 2nd and 7 for Eureka at their own, I should say, 30-yard line. Nearing the 5-minute mark here in our 2nd quarter, 14-0 Aurora U ahead of Eureka. Again, I'm Steve Mogan along with Chris Klavinsky and our director Matt Neller here live at Aurora University. Here's a quick dump out to the outside. This time Heath will catch the football. Heath Wilson catches it and gets some yards, and he's going to have the 1st down, as a matter of fact.
He's a big, short, stocky guy. Almost seems like one of those guys that'd be perfect for pounding down the middle, just because of his short stockiness.
They certainly have a low center of gravity, those kind of guys. He looks to be more of the power type of runner, like you say. Get a little guy like that who's kind of hard to find in the pile. The same token with the Spartans a few years ago had Derek Tiemann, who was little and pretty well put together, but he was fleet of foot and would just disappear in a crowd and just outrun people. There's pass almost picked off there. High pass to McBroom and Robert Watson right there defensively.
And I smell something good up here.
Oh boy. Well, that's why LeVar Evans is hanging around up here. He's hanging around keeping an eye on us, and he was waiting for the halftime. I was going to say halftime entertainment and refreshments. Speaking of which, hang around here with us. We'll have the Aurora Christian Palm squad performing at halftime. But we still got 4 minutes and 42 seconds of football before that happens. 2nd and 10 in the shotgun. Rutledge looking. Will move away. He's got a receiver complete to his tight end. He's got 1st down yardage, and then some across midfield down to the 41. Mike Chesney, junior from Spring Valley, with the catch. First and 10, and Eureka looking to get on the board here before halftime.
Mike is a 6'3", 245 pounds. Pretty big compared to most of their offensive players on that team.
Spartan defense here, trying to preserve a shutout at this point. Hand off in the middle, Heath Wilson goes. Not very far at all, about a yard or so.
With just over 4 minutes left to go in this half.
Well, John Cooper and his staff, defensive staff that is, have done a pretty good job here. Mike McGinnis, Mike Olsek, Joe Nauman, those guys are all very instrumental in the defensive side of the football for Aurora U. They've used a lot of guys here today. Guys interchangeable. There's a pitch out, gets around the end, does McBroom, and he's going to pick up some yardage there. Nice play indeed. And Naraki, a little disgusted, he wrapped up Rutledge just after he got rid of the football. He almost got to him.
Well, it looked like almost that Naraki was hitting him as he was pitching it. So.
Indeed, another half second earlier, that could have changed the outcome of that play, to say the least. Well, he's going to pick up quite a few. It'll be 3rd and a long 2.
And if Eureka doesn't score during this half, I doubt they're going to score during the second half, because the Spartans have not allowed one score in the second half at all this year.
Rutledge, here comes the rush, and he's going to be buried, and now a flag will come at the very end of that play. Jeremy Benson tripped him up for the sack. Flag at the very end, probably a hold, because there was one other Spartan who was on the ground.
It looks like a hold.
Indeed, and I'd imagine
Jeremy Benson signaled that to his coach before anything went off.
I imagine they're going to decline that, and they will, because it'll be 4th down and about 8 or 9 after the sack. So that's what they'll do. And it looks like Eureka's going to go for it in 4th and 9 from at the Aurora 41-yard line.
Well, it's something they have to do here. They got to score points.
Indeed they do. 3:15 on the running clock now. Officials are going to stop things as Eureka is going to call timeout. Daryl Crouch wants to talk things over with his offensive unit. So with 3:10 exactly to go here till halftime, there you see it, 14-0 Aurora leading Eureka College. And the Red Devils looking at a 4th and 9 situation. They want to talk about what they're going to do. And while they do that, let's talk about, again, the upcoming games. Next week, the Spartans are home again versus Lakeland College from Wisconsin. Another conference battle, and it's homecoming as well here at Aurora University. There will be a Hall of Fame banquet on Friday night, the 13th. There will be alumni events, sporting events between baseball and soccer and football on Saturday morning. Then there, of course, is other festivities, and then the football game and post-game gathering as well at the Snuggery afterwards. Downtown Aurora. Here now is the punt. They talked things over and decided to punt instead, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 15 or 18-yard line, but the flag goes back where the punter was buried, and it's going to be a personal foul, roughing the kicker against the Spartans. As Todd Bassage, a couple others come flying in there, and they made contact with the kicker.
And that play is going to hurt, because it's going to give very good or better field position for the Red Devils, and let's see if that how much that helps them there.
Indeed, that's going to be a 1st down for them and move everything along. So instead of Aurora getting the football back and having an opportunity to possibly go down the field with 3 minutes, tack on some more points, instead the defense has to come right back out and now have to hold them here, as they're going to have 1st and 10 at the Aurora 27-yard line and get a fresh set of downs to try and work on things again.
And this might be the Red Devils' chance to score here.
Eureka!
Brett Rutledge, number 23 for the Red Devils, is hoping so.
Rutledge, the bullet pass inside is picked off. He could go all the way. A great pick right there by Anthony Ruby. He's to the 20. He's got one man to beat. Wilson is going to knock him out at about the 5-yard line. Well, his teammates might give him a hard time about that, about running out of gas at the end of that, but what a huge pick as he stepped in front of the receiver and had a wide open path all the way across the field.
And that's his first interception of the year, and the Spartans' sixth, and that was the longest interception return.
We will take another look at that play. Fantastic grab by Anton Ruby. He's going to be marked at the 7. First and goal for the Spartans at 7. There you see it at about the 20-yard line. He steps in front, and there he goes. And it's just a foot race between he and Heath Wilson. And Wilson catches him right there and knocks him out of bounds. First and goal. Handoff left side. Diving forward is Joe Schmidt inside the 5-yard line. Boy, how quickly things turn around.
I think maybe Anton Ruby was kind of surprised when he first caught that ball because it looked like he paused for a second. It's like, oh, I got the ball.
That's a 73-yard interception return. Handoff again, Joe Schmidt left side, and he's stacked up at about the 5. Big hit by Nathan Ryle, sophomore from Champaign, Illinois, and he'll bring up 3rd and goal at the 5.
If anything, I'd say give the ball to Anthony Armstrong. He seems to be getting it in that end zone today, and that might be the way to go.
If I was a coach,
In case you were wondering, the longest interception return in Spartan history is 91 yards by Brian Federoff. 1989 versus Knox College. That was 4 touchdowns. That was here at Spartan Field. The handoff from the inside, and Anthony Armstrong is stacked up. So we're going to have 4th down at about 3 or 4 for the Spartans. And Ryan Glab's going to come on for the field goal attempt. It's going to be a pretty short one for him, but nothing is ever easy. In college, the hash marks are a little bit wider, so you got a little sharper angle here when you're in this close. They're going to mark it right about the 11 is where the John Van Opdorp is going to be the holder. It's going to be a 21-yard field goal attempt, and instead the Spartans are a little confused on their field goal unit. They don't get to try too many of these. They don't try too many, and they're going to call timeout and make sure they get everybody in
Everyone's
place.
looking around like, Coach, are you sure you want to do this? Because we haven't done it much this year.
Again, we're going to have the Aurora Christian Palm squad here at halftime. Just a minute 20 away from halftime, so don't go away. They're coming up in just a minute. I mentioned Brian Federoff. Saw him last night. He's an assistant football coach for Glenbard East High School. And his guys won last night, 13-0 over Wheaton North. Well, Clabb is going to line things up. Van Opdorp to hold. Nat Cox is the snapper on this kick. Here it is. The kick is up, looking good, and it is. 21-yard field goal.
The Spartans now have a kicking team.
Wow.
That's got to give them some confidence going into games now, knowing that they can make their extra points and field goals.
Oh, absolutely. It just changes things altogether. The Spartans, it's one element of their offense that they have not had in the last few years. And it's just another added weapon. It's now 17-0 Aurora U. With just 1:20 to go here till halftime.
And you mentioned an added weapon, and they're going to need that when they face Concordia University of Wisconsin, because it's going to be a huge game in the conference.
Well, Concordia downed Lakeland last week, and the Falcons of Concordia, Wisconsin, 4-0 overall, 2-0 in the conference, tied with the Spartans in that area, but they're the only team in the Illini-Badger Conference with an unbeaten record at 4-0, and they will be coming in here to last home game of the year, and it could be for the title and a possible playoff berth. Here's Clabb's kick, taking it to 10. This is Brett Burkett again, tries to cut back to the middle, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped there at the 20-yard line. That's Chris Cleary there, sophomore from LaSalle, Peru, with the tackle.
And it was a beautiful kick to kickoff there.
Well, that's another thing that Ryan Glab has given this team here this year, some good high kickoffs like that one. Little hang time down to the 10-yard line, and that gives your coverage unit time to get down there as well and get right on the return man. Oh, here we go. We're down to the 1 minute offense for Eureka. There are 4 wideouts. Shotgun, Rutledge pressure, and he's going to be sacked again. The Spartans coming up big.
By Jason Langston.
Yep, Jason Langston right there.
6'2", 245-pound junior from right here in Aurora.
Just down the road, Jason Langston, the West High grad. Boy, they won a thrilling game last night in overtime for their homecoming. The Spartans call timeout after the big sack. They're looking to get the football back here, make Eureka have to punt from their own end zone. That's a loss of about 7, so it's going to be 2nd down and 17 for them from their own 15-yard line with 58 seconds left. The Spartans, there you see, Joe Nauman in the shorts. He don't care. Short sleeve shirt, shorts. He don't care what the weather's like. That's Joe. But the defensive unit right there. You see John Cooper, the black coat and headphones, talking things over.
Well, I can tell you what he's saying right now. He's like, it's not cold out. We're winning.
Well, I wonder if Coach Nauman had his usual pregame ritual meal this morning. I know he does on the road. He always has peanut butter pancakes for breakfast.
I'm not sure if that sounds good or bad.
Well, you know, I consider peanut butter on toast to be pretty good. I never thought of it on pancakes. But
now, does he cook it in the pancakes, or
no,
does he just like
he smears it on top like it's syrup and butter? And boy, I tell you what, it's quite a sight to watch. Here we go, 2nd down. Here's a handoff. And going to go virtually nowhere, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. And again, the Spartans are to call a timeout. Eureka ran that one just to force Aurora to use another timeout. So 3rd down play, knowing that the Spartans used one when they weren't set for their field goal attempt. That was their last timeout, so they run this ball. The Spartans won't be able to stop it. And it possibly could be the last play of the half. Well, while we have this timeout down there, Chris,
here's
got a Spartan Spotlight coming up, huh?
Yeah, Spartan Spotlight every Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. and on Fridays at 7:30 p.m. as well. I'll be the host, and I talk to the coaches and the players of the sports teams here at AU.
Do you know who you're going to have coming up here this week?
I know I'm going to have a head volleyball coach, Cindy Sundell.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Knut Drugan, head women's soccer coach, if he'll join us and bring a couple players with him. And I'm sure he will, because he's always willing to help out.
Well, Knut's always accommodating. And it's going to be about a 7-yard gain from McBroom. They're going to slowly unpile the bodies. They're 35 seconds on a running clock. The punting unit will slowly come out on the field. And there goes the play clock, so they're going to have to punt this. There's a difference of about 7 seconds between the game clock and the play clock. Less time, of course, on that play clock. So even if they take a delay of game penalty here, there's still going to be 7 seconds on the board. They're going to have to punt it away. Champion in the punt. Daniel stands at his own 45. Play clock's down to 3. They're just going to take the penalty anyway. Okay.
Maybe Kip can do something here and give the Spartans a chance to score.
Well, the game clock continued to run for a couple more seconds after the play clock finished. They're going to put 6 seconds back up there on the scoreboard.
That seems like a little bit more than it should be. I think the play clock should actually go to, or the time clock should go to 7 seconds, but we'll take that extra 3 seconds.
Oh, indeed. Either way, they're going to have to punt against the wind one time here. Give the Spartans one shot at either a long kick return here for touchdown or maybe block this thing. Meanwhile, Champion stands at his own 4-yard line trying to keep his hands warm. Here's a snap. Good one. Gets the kick away. Kicks it almost straight up in the air. The wind is going to blow it back. It's going to bounce the other way. It's going to try and go to, boy, the Spartans almost tried to pick it up and go with it there, but they couldn't get the handle on it. The game clock didn't run at all.
See what Coach Scott's going to do here if he's going to shoot that field goal.
Well, the officials are going to talk this thing over. I think there's a flag as well on this play. Haven't seen that too often. That kick not only went nowhere, but it started coming backwards. That was a negative punt, essentially, from the line of scrimmage. Well, they're just going to say that's the end of the half. Officials conferred to make sure that on something, I'm not sure exactly what, but indeed there was no play or flag on the play. Just a nice discussion about just a nice day we're having, I think.
Makes up on the scoreboard and score clock.
So, regardless, that's the end of our first half of play. The Spartans leading here 17-0 at halftime, and there you see Jim Scott and his entire team keeping him on the field here to have a little discussion before they go to the locker room. That's the second time we've seen him do that here this year. He hasn't done that very often over the years, but just wants to keep his guys focused and say, hey, we got a lot of football left yet, and if it weren't for a break or two here or there, they'd be on the board and be right in this game. Can't take a team like this lightly, but in the meantime, there you see it. AU 17, Eureka nothing. We'll take a break. We'll be back here with some more second half action in just a little while here on Aurora University Television. All right, back here at Aurora University, getting set for second half action. Again, the Spartans lead Eureka College here, 17-0. You got some halftime numbers. Rushing yards, the Spartans leading Eureka 106-45 in that category. Overall, total offensive yards 154. The Spartans, as they also have 44 yards passing through first half of play. Eureka with 50 yards passing for a total of only 95 yards total offense in that first half. But overall, the numbers aren't all that different in some of those areas, but a couple big key numbers. One interception for the Spartans with 73 yards and returns, and that one interception by Anton Rubin that resulted in 3 points and a field goal for the Spartans. Also, Paulie Forsyth with one kick return for the Spartans with a 48-yard kickoff return to start the game off. That put the Spartans in great position, and they scored right away in this game as well, marching right down for a touchdown and get the early lead. Other numbers of note, Spartans only a couple of punts, but they've been pretty good ones by Ryan Dexter, averaging 38.5 yards, so that part of the field position has been good for Aurora, keeping Eureka back down there and pinned. And on the other side, the flip side of things, Eureka 4 punts for an average of only 21.5 yards, so when they've had to punt the ball to Aurora, they've given the ball to the Spartans in pretty good position. Individually, Greg McBroom leads all rushers with 60 yards on 13 carries. Anthony Armstrong leads the Spartans with 7 carries for 51 yards. Mylan Jones, 8 carries for 24 yards. Joe Schmidt, 6 for 14. And Kyle Schrader, 11 yards on 5 carries. John Van Opdorp is 3 of 7 with no interceptions here in our first half. So we're getting ready to start the second half of play, where Spartans, Ryan Glab will kick off to Eureka. This time the Red Devils will head south to north into the wind a little bit. Getting a little more overcast here at Aurora University on this chilly Saturday afternoon. Again, we are coming to you live from Aurora on October 7th as the Spartans hosting the Red Devils Eureka College. Ryan Glab set to kick. 2 deep men for Eureka. That's a nice kick all the way back to about the 2-yard line, taken there by Adrian Gongora. He'll cut back to the middle, get some running room, and he's going to get all the way out to about the 20-yard line, where the Red Devils will start up there. Again, I'm Steve Mogul, along with Chris Klavinsky and our director Matt Neller, here on Aurora University Television, bringing you Division III college football. As we're just underway in our second half. Spartans leading 17-0, and Chris, as I went over some of those numbers, one thing that did stand out as far as receiving goes, Tyson LeBlanc's got a couple of catches for 35 yards. Anthony Armstrong's got a catch for 9 yards. The Spartans didn't throw the ball much, but Kip Daniels, ball never went in his direction the whole first half, and he's one of the main receivers the Spartans have had here the last couple seasons.
Yeah, he is. He's was the leading, coming in as tied for leading receiver along with Tyson today.
Well, to make a liar out of me, I just mentioned about how overcast it's been getting here, and the sun comes out. Imagine that. Nice, bright, warm sunshine. We've needed that here a little bit today. But
we got some nice big clouds overhead. So
again, it's a little chilly out here, a little different in the low 40s here today, which isn't necessarily that cold, but by Midwest standards, but it has not been that cold this season. It's the first cold day we've had, first cold Saturday afternoon that we've had this season. Pick up a 3, 2nd and 7, looking, and is going to be sacked. Joe Thompson buries Rutledge just as he was about ready to follow through, and Rutledge brought the ball back in before he lost the handle on it.
The defense is just coming out strong in the second half, and what they've done all year long is just playing good defense throughout the whole year in the second half, and feel sorry for the Red Devils because they're not going to get far here.
Well, Spartans with yet another sack, and boy, in that first half, Rutledge was credited with 5 carries for minus 14 yards after you factor in all those sacks that he's taken. Well, 3rd and long, here's a handoff, and not going to go very much as McBroom. He stood up, never really brought down, but he only got back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 4th and 12, and Eureka will have to punt again back to the Spartans.
And let's see if the Spartans can get some nice points on the board. Play a shutout game here. Something to be proud of for the week to come.
Indeed, you mentioned, well, I'll get to these numbers in just a second here. Champion to punt, left footer. It's a pretty good kickoff. Kip Daniels looks at it about midfield, and he'll let it drop, and it's going to bounce right there and really go nowhere. The Spartans are going to take over at their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10, and looking to add to this lead. And Jim Scott, again, huddled all the guys up on the field before they went to the locker room and gave them an earful. He's not happy, even though his team's up 17-0, and just not happy with some of their focus and things here today, and some of the mental mistakes they had in that first half that didn't necessarily stand out. But the one thing that did cost the Spartans was not having that extra time out there before the end of the half to really get the ball back and have a shot at the end zone.
And what Jim Scott was doing was just good coaching, trying to get his players in focus in every aspect of the game, even though it might not make a big difference.
Oh, nice play here rolling out. And this Paulie Forsythe, he's got some running room to cut across the field. He could go all the way. He's got one man to try and catch him, and he's going to dive in the end zone. Touchdown! 51 yards. John Van Opdorp, the Paulie Forsythe.
And that is his 2nd touchdown reception of the year, putting him in the lead, or tied with Kip Daniels.
And Opdorp faked the handoff, rolled right, and found Forsythe, a little hook pattern back to the inside. And boy, what he did after he caught the ball about the 30-yard line, just turned it on, and he knew he had some green across the field and just a foot race that he won easily. Here's Glab for the extra point kick. High snap, flag goes down. Let's see what that's all about. And illegal procedure against the Spartans. So quickly a extra point is going to become a 25-yarder instead of 20-yarder, but 23-0 Spartans looking to tack on the PAT. And Opdorp, 51 yards to Paulie Forsythe.
And hopefully Ryan Glab can do good here.
Tries to add to it. A low line driver is good. He gets it through. It didn't look pretty, but it's good nonetheless.
And we just found out we got a good kicker for the next 4 years.
Boy, you're not kidding. Ryan Glab again today is perfect on PATs, and he's added a field goal. And 12:42 here in our 3rd quarter, just a couple of minutes in. The second half action, the Spartans are on the board again.
Coach Scott has to be proud of that young freshman there. He's kicking very well for the day. Paulie Forsythe with his 2nd touchdown of the year. And Spartans are on the board early in the second half. They don't look like they're going to stop.
Boy, well, that's one thing we were just starting to touch on. He had a few words for his guys before they went into the locker room, and wasn't happy with some of the things that were going on the field. And in particular, I think, again, the Spartans had to burn a timeout when they were attempting that field goal because they didn't have the proper players out there, and that cost them because Eureka was able to run the clock down to 6 seconds before they punted, and the punt, which went out of bounds, the Spartans would have had the ball at about the 10-yard line and would have had a shot at the end zone with at least 10 seconds or so or more on the clock if they'd have had that extra timeout, which they didn't have to stop it before that. Glab's kick is returned out to about the 23-yard line where Eureka will take over.
And let's see if the AU defense can stop them once again. I don't think they'll have a problem doing that. They've been doing it all day.
Again, it's 24-0 Aurora U in the lead. 12.5 minutes to go in our 3rd quarter. A lot of football yet to be played here the second half. Stay with us here on Channel 17.
And again, one of the amazing things in this game is Kip Daniels has been very quiet throughout the whole game.
Well, one thing about that is Rutledge's pass is tipped by Brian Richter and incomplete. Boy, he got hit hard after he let go of it. Boy, pressure all over the place. Bassich, Benson, also looked like Turnage in there. I'm sorry, Corey Harris in there, putting the pressure on, and then Richter out there covering the receiver.
This is going to be a question I'm going to have to ask Coach Scott one day, is why in the second half the defense is always so fired up compared to the first half.
They certainly make some adjustments at halftime, and they always seem to come out and play very well. As you mentioned earlier, Spartans have not given up second half points here yet. Oh, another great rush. This time Richter hits Rutledge from the blind side. Now the flags fly after the pass is incomplete. Revetter's there. Kip Daniels there as well. And
Looks like the flag's going to be on Craig Revetter.
they're going to call Craig for hitting him a little too soon. Craig's like, yep, my fault. Well, let's see what referee Red Ryan has to say. He says indeed pass interference against the Spartans. So that's going to give Eureka, who was going to be looking at a 3rd and 10, instead will give them a first down.
Brian Richter gave a few words to Craig Revetter there, letting him know that, saying, hey, you can't do that. That's what the captain's supposed to do.
They want him to be aggressive, but at the same time say, hey, come on, man. We're putting the pressure on him. Play the football, not the man.
Martin Kern is covering Josh Champion on the side over here. Hopefully trying to keep him away from catching that ball.
Ryan posing into the lineup as well at a corner for the Spartans. Again, a lot of interchangeable parts on this defensive unit. A lot of guys in and out. Here's Rutledge on the scramble. He's got some running room. He's going to get close to that first down marker as he dives across the 35 out to about the 37-yard line.
He's just about a yard short.
Indeed, he needed to get to the 38, and he's not going to get there, so be second and about 1.
And the Red Devils offense getting very lucky on these penalty calls.
I find that page that you had there. There it is. Spartans again have not given up any points in the 3rd and 4th quarters this year. First quarters, the Spartans have been outscored until coming into today, that is, 20-14 by their opponents. Handoff inside, gonna be close to the first down. I think he's gonna have it as Greg McBroom. Second quarters, they have outscored their opponents 36-30, and then in the third quarters, it's a 14-0 shutout and a 27-0 shutout in the 4th quarter. Those totals through the first 4 games, 91 points for the Spartans, 50 for their opponents.
And a lot of it goes back to that 66-3 victory they had last week.
Well, when you say 50 points, 34 of those were the first game of the season at Bethel College. Bethel put up 34 points against the Spartans. Since then, it's been 7 for Illinois Wesleyan, 6 for Benedictine, and 3 for Concordia. Here's a long pass. He's got a receiver out there. Nice grab over the shoulder. Anton Ruby there in the coverage, but a nice grab nonetheless by Luke Little, Jr. from Tuscola, Illinois. And
he's a big, tall guy. It's 6'3", just a little bit taller than Ruby.
Indeed, he was.
Catches over the head like that.
Anton Ruby listed at 6 foot, but it looked like he was giving away a little bit more of that in height advantage. And regardless, it's a nice over-the-shoulder grab, and they're in business at the Spartan 24-yard line, looking to get a touchdown here and get on the board. Handoff, McBroom the inside. He's going to bowl forward for about 4 or 5 yards. Well, we'll see you later, LeVar. LeVar Evans is going to step out.
And I fear we might have had jinxed the Spartans' defense here. All this talk about them not letting any scores in the second half. But maybe they'll pick it up here.
Well, LeVar's, he's had enough of standing up here and staying warm. He's going to finally go outside, I think. But yeah, the food's gone here. Halftime's over, so he's ready to move on. You give LeVar a hard time. His partner last year and the host of Spartan Spotlight.
I think next year we'll just lock the door.
Oh, almost. Nice attempt there for Jay Busey.
There's Kip Daniels, finally making a name in today's game.
Well, that's the thing. As long as we don't hear his name, that means other guys are getting involved and doing some things, and that's not necessarily a bad thing at all for the Spartans on offense or defense.
Hopefully we can force a fumble or get an interception here, or get a few sacks so they don't get a field goal or a touchdown. Which I wouldn't put past the Spartan defense to do.
Third down play. The pitch is high. Its ball is loose. It's on the ground. The Spartans look like they have it. No signal yet exactly. Indeed, Aurora University football. Who's coming out of there with it? And it looks like Todd Bassich. Indeed it is.
Maybe I should talk about fumbles and interceptions for the
You're not
Aurora
kidding.
defense more. Wonder if it works for offense.
Yeah, that was a good idea on your part, to say the least. Todd Bassich picks up the fumble recovery.
The Spartans offense hits the field, and hopefully they can get a touchdown here. And we'll see if that works this time.
First and 10, Aurora at their own 20-yard line. So again, Eureka looking to get in the red zone, knocking on the door to score, and they fumble the football away. Here, handoff is Joe Schmidt. He bounces to the outside. He's still on his feet. He's across the 40, out to midfield, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Just like that, a 38-yard pickup. First and 10, Spartans into Eureka territory, and a lot of guys on the Eureka defense now with their hands on their hips, getting a little tired. Big run there for Joe Schmidt as he really turned it on once he got through that initial line of scrimmage and cut to the outside.
Joe Schmidt having a great running day today. That bumped up his average for the day pretty high.
Here we go,
Maybe
first.
bumped him up on the total net yards for rushing for the team.
Well, flags fly there before the first down snap, and a little discussion as to what exactly that was. Well, what it is Garrett Meyer, and is at quarterback, and discussion with Chris Mitchell, his center, as to, hold on, what was the snap count again? You told me this, and well, actually Chris isn't the center, but there was a little miscommunication up front. So anyway, it's going to be first and 15 for the Spartans. Again, Garrett Meyer is in now at quarterback, the freshman from Hampshire. Quick pitch. First time we've seen 34 here today. A nice hard run, and hit hard by Eureka defenders Grant Shields, freshman from Plainfield.
Garrett Meyer's only played in one game, going 1 for 3, completion percentage at 33.3%. And 10 yards on that one completion, and hopefully he can get something going here. Coach Scott is definitely going to want to see what he can do being a freshman and being around for the next 4 years.
Second and 7, hand up inside, football's loose. Joe Schmidt got wrapped up around around his arms, and Eureka says they have it, and the signal is indeed Eureka football. So Joe Schmidt was stripped of that football when he hit the line of scrimmage, and coming out of the bottom of the pile with it is Jeff Lopez for Eureka. Lopez is, again, sophomore from Miami, Florida. So the defense will step back out, and the offense will come off the field and try and regroup.
The offense team taken to the bench and being talked to for a little bit.
They're going to discuss things a little bit, to say the least. 4 wideouts, 1 back. Rutledge, hand off to that 1 back, and this is McBroom, and he'll get maybe a yard. Well, going back to some of these other numbers in the Illini-Badger Conference, team rushing, the Spartans 3rd, averaging 206 yards a game. Eureka 6th coming into today at only 81.6 yards per game. Team rushing defense on the other side, the Spartans are 3rd in the conference there as well, giving up 136 yards a game. Eureka is 7th at more than 100 yards, almost virtually doubled at 265. 2nd and 9. Oh, the blitz, they just missed it. Rutledge still scrambling, gets away from a couple other tacklers all the way to midfield. He's got a first down. Boy, Jason Naraki on the blitz thought he was going to get him.
And McBroom for the Red Devils has really been a workhorse in this game, running 13 times in just the first half alone. Probably going to get him close to 20-25 carries for the game.
That is a pretty good day's work for him. Passing, team passing offense. Eureka came in today 4th at 196 yards a game. The Spartans were 5th in the conference, but only at 119. Big difference between 4th spot and 5th spot. There's early movement on the left side, rather right side of the offensive line. That was Matthew Shuram, sophomore from Equality, Alabama. And that was not equal. He was not equal to the task there, that's for sure. He was trying to get a little head start. That wasn't equal. That wasn't fair. Team passing defense, the Spartans 5th, giving up 160 yards. Eureka dead last at 199. Rutledge came into today 3rd in the conference in total offense. Also 3rd in individual passing in the conference statistics. 1st and 15 after the penalty at their own 45. Rutledge looks to that left side, and his throw is low. Again, pressure. Bassich and Steve Messina, the freshman from Plainfield. But Seifert was 5th for Eureka. We have hardly heard his name today. Eric Seifert. He caught a pass or two early, but that was about it. He had 2 catches in that first half for 21 yards. And the other numbers here, individual punting. Dexter came into today 7th in the conference at 33.2 yards a game. Champion was 8th. And punt returns, Kip Daniels 2nd in that category. There's another flag as he dumps it out there. He's got a receiver, almost hung on, but Kip Daniels makes the huge hit and then lets Jay Busey know that he was there, but the flag is going to be a hold against Eureka, so either way that was going to come back.
And Ryan Dexter for the Spartans is averaging 38.5, well above his average. Even better than the best punter in the conference.
Indeed. Benedictine's punter. Top of the list there, just under 38 yards per kick. By the way, Gongora from Eureka 4th in punt returns in the conference as well. Kickoff returns, Kip Daniels 2nd at a 25.4 average. And Gongora 3rd at 21.8 in the conference leaders. And get a couple other numbers here related to those. Illini-Badger conference leaders here, but before that we got 3rd and 15. Rutledge rolling, pressure again. He tries to dump it off. Incomplete. Luke Little couldn't handle that little short pass right at him, right in front of the Spartan bench.
And all the Red Devils have been able to do is that one really long pass, and every other pass they've been trying just has not worked.
Well, the Spartans, year in and year out, have had outstanding linebackers, and again, they show it here again today, and they've been blitzing quite a bit here lately and really putting the pressure on Rutledge and the Eureka offense. Here's the punt. Bounces at about the 30. Kip Daniels thought about it, and he's going to let it go, and they're going to down this at about the 22-yard line where the Spartans will take over. Well, just a few other ones here, Chris, real quick. Kip Daniels also on a couple other lists here in the conference leaders, but the one I wanted to mention was the defensive side of things. Jason Araki 7th in tackles, individual tackles, 26 solos and 15 assists, 41 tackles after the first 4 games of the season for the Spartans. Tackles for loss, Jeremy Benson 4th, Todd Bassage 6th for the Spartans in that category in the conference leaders.
And Garrett Myers back in as quarterback, and Coach Scott pretty comfortable with his 24-0 lead. He's going to keep him in there and see what he can do.
Well, the Spartans only get about a yard in that play, so it's 2nd and 9. 7 minutes. There you see some of the guys on the sideline saying, hey, put me in, coach. Rolling, Meyer looking. Can't find anybody, flags fly. Now he dumps it out there, pass a little low and incomplete to Pauly Forsythe.
And that's probably going to be on the offense there.
I would think so, possibly a hold against the Spartans there trying to protect their quarterback as he rolled out. Let's see what Red Ryan has to say. Indeed, that is what the signal is. No other games today. Benedictine is at McMurray. Lakeland is at Concordia of Illinois, or Concordia River Forest, as they say. And Greenville is at Concordia, Wisconsin.
Maybe Greenville can pull up an upset there.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Take care of Concordia.
That would be nice.
Leave us alone at the top of the conference. Hopefully give us a chance at that playoff berth.
Again, the Spartans homecoming next weekend. Then they go to McMurray on October 21st and to Greenville on October 28th. Those couple, they're longer road trips that they'll take besides Bethel College. But they'll go down towards south central part of Illinois. And then they come home for Concordia, Wisconsin, and then travel to Valparaiso, Indiana on November 11th for the last game of the year, a non-conference game. By that point, hopefully we'll know that we're champions of the conference again and in the playoffs, because this year the conference champion is an automatic bid, an automatic berth, I should say, in the Division III football playoffs. Second down play doesn't go for very much. Third and very long for the Spartans, probably about 16, 17 yards, all the way back at their own 15-yard line.
And hopefully when we play Concordia University in Wisconsin, then we won't have to worry about that game being a big factor. But the way they've been playing this year, Concordia could very well bring us a tough game and a very important game.
Well, the sun comes out here. Hopefully they'll shine on the Spartan offense here in this play. Third and long. Meyer looking. He's got a receiver cutting across the middle. Tyson LeBlanc on a crisscross pattern with Bingham, and he picks it. Instead, he might go all the way down to the 20. He's got a blocker from him. He's going to score. Oh, my goodness.
That was just a great pass and a great play.
85-yard touchdown for the Spartans. Looking for flags. I don't see any.
When he threw that ball, I didn't even know it was going to Tyson. It looks like Tyson just ran in there and grabbed it quick.
Well, I don't think anybody else thought that was going to Tyson LeBlanc either. And again, a little bit of a crossing pattern. Well, okay, the flag was all the way back to the right side, way over here, but that was offsides lined up against Eureka, so the touchdown counts. And Garrett Myers throws a touchdown for the Spartans. Correct me, I think that's his first career touchdown pass.
And Coach Scott doesn't look upset at all, so hey, they're doing good in the second half. He's not pacing as much.
Well, he's known to wear a path out there in that sideline. Ryan Glab out for the extra point. Looking at a Spartan lead, and he chips it up there, and it's good. So, 5:55 mark here of our third quarter. The Spartans now lead 31-0. Now that's more along the lines of what we were thinking this game could turn into.
Exactly, and Ryan Glab's just been perfect today. Goes up there for 4 extra points, gets them all in a field goal, and gets that. Making his team proud.
All right, we're going to take another look at that touchdown play. Again, we thought the ball was going to Rob Bigham. He was coming across in slant pattern from the left side, and Tyson LeBlanc came from the right side and stepped right in front of not only Bigham but a defender. Here you see it, looking in the middle. He's looking right there. Bigham, boom, Tyson LeBlanc. The two linebackers bid on the other guy, thought the other direction. That's a foot race, and nobody was going to catch him, even though they blocked out our cameraman right there. Tyson LeBlanc he had one guy, Paulie Forsythe, in front of him to throw one block is all he needed, and he danced to the inside and an easy touchdown.
And that's just a great play right there.
Longest touchdown pass, by the way, was 85 yards, so that ties it. Kurt Wisnand, 1989 versus Benedictine, an 85-yard touchdown pass. Also the longest pass completion in school history. Oh, Glab whiffs on the kickoff. Officials blow it dead, saying the wind. Well,
he went there and grabbed it, make sure he could have it.
He wanted to make sure nobody on the other team picked it up and ran with it. Because, of course, if he touched it, that ball's live.
That count as an outside kick then?
I don't know. It kind of looked like a Charlie Brown routine right there. I don't see Lucy anywhere, but the ball fell off anyway. There we go. There's a good kick all the way back at about the 7-yard line. Burkett again. And Revetter is going to wrap him up, bring him down about the 25-yard line. So that's where Eureka will start. And again, the longest pass completion, 85 yards by Kurt Wisnand, is also the longest touchdown pass. And we've just seen it tied here.
And Coach Scott is keeping in his first-string defense. Making sure that they keep this lead preserved. You got to wonder when he's going to be putting in the second string and the third string.
Well, indeed, sooner or later you're going to have to get some of these other guys in the game and get them some snaps as well. Hand off, goes nowhere. McBroom just, boy, what a tough day for him. He gets stacked up. I mean, he's had some good runs today. A 30-yard romp earlier in this game, but he's paid for some on some other ones as well. He's been hit hard.
After that 30-yard one, he really hasn't been doing much.
Tell you what, I'm going to try and lower this thing so we can see. Oops, got to go the other way. Guess down is down, right? You want it to go down, you got to put it down. There's a concept. There we go, 2nd and 10. He's going to try and scramble and get dropped again. Lost for about a yard and another sack. They just keep piling up for the Spartans. Bassage, Benson, and also look like number 90, Jason Hunt in there. Jason is senior from Chicago, Schurz High School.
And now it just looks like the Aurora defense is just having fun out there.
Well, exactly. When you're ahead like this, you can gamble a lot more and come with the blitz more often and let some people do some things. They just continue to put pressure on Rutledge and make it a long day for him. 4.5 minutes to go here in our 3rd quarter. 31-0 Aurora U. You see it up there in your left-hand corner. Again, I'm Steve Moga along with Chris Klavinsky and our director Matt Neller today here on Channel 17, Aurora University Television, bringing you Division III college football live from the campus of Aurora U here on Saturday, October the 7th. Now this game's going to be replayed on Tuesday night, correct?
I believe so.
I believe so. Tuesday nights, I believe it.
We could check with our director if he'll...
Indeed, we'll check with Matt Neller. I think it's Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And a quick pass off the hands and incomplete. Luke Little there. Well, 4th down and 10. They'll have to punt away again. Well, Josh Champion's been getting quite a workout today.
Yeah. And as a freshman, they got to be happy to see him going out there and working a little bit.
Well, he punted 4 times in the first half. Well, see, of course,
tomorrow
Skip Daniels.
6. Just found out the replay of this game is going to be Monday at 6. Not tomorrow or Tuesday. Just to let everyone know, it's going to be Monday at 6.
Okay.
We're going to replay this. Almost sure win.
Oh, the Sparks are going to take over 1st and 10 at the Eureka 47. Kip Daniels a couple-yard return there. So, just when I think I got it figured out, it's Monday night, not Tuesday night.
I think they just like to switch things up around.
Let's get on the board. Train better, schooler.
All right, 1st and 10. Well, Garrett Meyer put his name in the record books last time he took a snap. This time he looks again, rolling right, trying to get away, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. A couple of yards, sacked that on the play there by Mitch Miller, freshman from Arcola, Illinois, the town where they make a lot of brooms in Arcola.
Well, I don't know. He could have made another record there. Was last quarterback who made that other 85-yard touchdown pass. Was he sacked right after the next play?
Yeah, to put him right back in his place, right?
Yeah.
Don't let him get too big of a head here. Okay, you just put your name in the record books here. I'm going to sack you in the next play. 2nd and 12. Handoff. Joe Schmidt fights hard back to the original line of scrimmage.
Coach Scott seems like the type of coach that would make sure his players are always keeping a level head. So maybe he told one of his offensive linemen to let one of the defensive ends slip through there real quick.
I don't think that would work even if he told him to.
Just let him through so this freshman man doesn't get a big head.
Well, he's going to go from the shotgun this time. 3rd and 10. Here he goes. Looking in the middle. He's got LeBlanc. He throws the Forsythe instead. And Paulie Forsythe showing the good hands that we saw from him a couple years ago. Snares that ball for the 1st down yardage.
Paulie Forsythe, 5'10", 180-pound junior. He had to jump and reach as far as he could for that one.
The Spartans are having fun now. There you see some on the sidelines. Relaxed and easy going now. 31-point lead.
Come on, defense. Come on,
they continue to move the football. Quick pitch. Left side, bouncing to the outside, fighting through. Still on his feet inside to the 25-yard line. Goes
Schumacher.
Schumacher, freshman from Morrison, Illinois.
A lot of freshmen in this game right now.
Well, you mentioned it just a few minutes ago. It's about time for Coach to get some of these other guys in, and he certainly is doing that. Wholesale substitutions for the Spartans. Every now and then you'll see a Joe Schmidt or a Mylan Jones or Paulie Forsythe handle the football, but interchanging a lot of other young guys, getting them in there, getting some snaps. He's looking at the end zone. He's got LeBlanc there. Touchdown, Garrett Meyer.
Second touchdown of the day for Tyson LeBlanc.
32 yards, and the Spartans add to their already big lead. Wow, we're still 2:13 to go here in this third quarter, and the Spartans have really asserted themselves now like Jim Scott wanted them to do in that first half. There you see the big high five, Kip Daniels and Tyson LeBlanc.
The TV crew has been very good today about playing back those good plays like that. I wonder if we'll get to see that one again.
Well, we'll put them to the challenge here. Meantime, Glob, extra point kick again is up. This one is no good. Signals wide to the left, so there goes his streak of consecutive extra points. Last week, again, he had 7 of them, and up until that one right there, he had 1, 2, 3,
and
4 more here today, so he had 11 in a row before that first miss.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see a replay of that. So everyone's going to have to catch the game Monday at 6 to see it again.
Well, regardless, Tyson LeBlanc with his second touchdown catch of the day. Garrett Meyer's second touchdown, or Meyer, I should say, second touchdown pass of the day. Second touchdown pass of his career. And they've both come within about 3 minutes of each other. And the Spartans have jumped out now to a 37-0 lead. We still got a whole quarter yet to go here, so stay with us. A lot of action to go yet as Spartans putting it on Eureka here today.
And Coach Scott has to be pretty happy that he's got another quarterback down there that can put some points on the board.
Oh, indeed. Garrett Meyer certainly has showed some composure, and there again the football blows off the tee. Maybe they get somebody to stand up there this time and hold it. As the new kicker is Ken Mack. Set to kick off here. Well, pretty good day for Ryan Glab nonetheless. 4 out of 5 PATs with a field goal. It's a high short kick. Taken at about the 18-yard line. Again, this is Burkett. He'll dance between a few defenders and get out across the 30 to about the 32, 33-yard line where they'll take over there. 2:03 till the fourth quarter. You see it? Upper left-hand corner. Again, the Spartans in command.
And what's turning out to be a great game for the Spartan defense, not allowing anything at all. Getting a couple turnovers in there. And Garrett Meyer coming back with 2 touchdown passes. Something great for that freshman to do.
Let's execute. Let's get on the
He's a big guy too, 6'2", 195 pounds. A little bit bigger than John Van Opdorp.
Shotgun. New quarterback for Eureka. He's got a receiver complete right to the 40-yard line. Greg McBroom hauls it in. That new quarterback is number 17, Mark Brown, a senior from Tremont, Illinois. 6'4", 210-pounder. He'll stand back in a shotgun. Pretty good-sized guy to throw the football.
And another offensive player for the Spartans who's been pretty quiet is Mylan Jones, their leading rusher.
Haven't needed Mylan much today. 2nd and 2, he's going to take it himself. He's got the first down. He's going to get run out of bounds by Craig Rivetter, but not before he's got the first down all the way out to the 46-yard line. Well, the Spartans, barring a miracle, I know it's a little early to say that probably. We haven't even started the fourth quarter yet, but barring a miracle, they are going to go to 3-0 in the conference, 3-2 overall. Drop the first 2 games of the season, non-conference games at Bethel and here at home to Illinois Wesleyan, 7-6, and a hard-fought game with a highly ranked team. 1st and 10 play. Brown steps up, almost sacked, gets it away, and it's a dangerous pass indeed. 3 Spartans there with 1 defender, Richter, Naraki, and others, and somehow is incomplete. But he intended to throw that to Eric Seifert. But again, the Spartans played well against Illinois Wesleyan. Wesleyan has gone on and played even better since then. They're 4-0. Milliken is 4-0, and Augustana is 4-0, all in the CCIW Conference, College Conference of Illinois, Wisconsin. Shotgun play, 2nd and 10, and boy, the Spartans come, and they just are going to bury McBroom. He's going to be dropped for about 3-4 yard loss. Naraki there again. Boy, Martin Kern, take your pick. Kip Daniels, Todd Bassich, Joe Thompson. There were 5 blue jerseys on the ball carrier.
And Jason Naraki is just a fast player. He was behind that line seemingly as soon as they snapped the ball.
Well, after a while, you get back to the huddle and you say, guys, are you blocking anybody? Help me out here. Yeah, this is a hard day for McBroom. Well, I mentioned those 3 teams all undefeated at 4-0 atop the CCIW, and that's because they're all ranked as well. There's almost picked off. Overthrew his receiver, and Craig Vetter was there and almost got it. Well, I was going to say, Illinois Wesleyan ranked 18th in the most recent poll, Division III coaches poll in the nation. Milliken ranked 13th, and Augustana ranked 8th in the country. Spartans' first opponent, Bethel, Minnesota, is 24th in the nation. They're also 4-0. High kick. Kip Daniels takes it and is buried immediately at about the 21-yard line. Good coverage down there. Nice high kick. Allowed that, but a good tackle.
Well, that says something for Kip Daniels, saying that he's not afraid to take that hit. So that pays off in a game where that's very physical and a close one, unlike this one.
That was Billy Powers with the hard hit for Eureka, but Spartans, Kip Daniels held out, and Aurora U will start from their own 21, 22-yard line. Also, Concordia, Wisconsin getting some votes for the top 25 teams in the nation, and they are actually at 22 votes, worthy of 35th place, essentially, in the rankings. Meyer looking, rolling, scammering, he gets it away. Bigham's got the football, and he's going to break a tackle. He might go all the way. He's got one man to beat who dives for him. Nobody's going to catch him. Oh my goodness, he turns a short little pass pattern into, well, 78-yard touchdown. Just like that, the Spartans another big play, and it's now really getting lopsided.
That's just very poor defense by Eureka right there. They should have had him down twice, and they did. They should have gotten to the quarterback. And let's take a quick look at that run back for that touchdown.
Indeed, Meyer bought himself some time, scrambled a little bit, and Bigham came back to the football and just a short little 10-yard pass, and somehow he broke a tackle and just took off. Ken Mack, and there he is just at the end. There's nobody left anymore. It was just a foot race, and nobody caught him.
He was just kind of skipping into the end zone.
Yep, Ken Mack connects on the extra point. So the Spartans tack on 7 more, and suddenly it is 44-0 here with just 7 seconds left in our third quarter. And like you say, not very good tackling on their part.
Not at all, but we'll take the touchdown and makes our stats look a lot better.
Come on, guys, let's get on the board.
And for the record, that's Garrett Meyer's 3rd touchdown pass of the year.
Oh, a 3rd touchdown pass in the last few minutes as well. It's just in the last 6 minutes of this quarter. Essentially, he's thrown 3 touchdowns now all of a sudden since he's come on. And I'm not so sure that is a record yet. Let's see. Let's check that out. Game numbers. Well, I don't see that one right off the top here.
And we're going to give a little present to LeVar Evans here. If you happen to miss any games or events, just call 844-3838 for the Spartan Sports Hotline, and you'll get all your recent scores and stats.
Well, that's one of LeVar's favorite little plugs, indeed, but that thanks should go out to Lane Stahl, the Sports Information Director here at Aurora U, for keeping that up, and also all his help with every one of these broadcasts, getting the stats and things to us, and we certainly appreciate it. Ken Mack's kickoff is taken by Burkett. He'll get out to about the 30-yard line where the horn sounds to signal the end of our third quarter, but not before the Spartans throw up a bunch of points here in this third quarter. It's 44-0 now, Aurora U, after 3 quarters of play.
amazing, amazing third quarter. All with a rookie quarterback, freshman quarterback, Garrett Meyer, coming in off the bench, just throwing out some big long bombs.
The Spartans tacked on 27 points there in that third quarter. 4 touchdowns, just missed 1 extra point kick, but that is about the only thing they've done wrong here so far. And they have just asserted themselves here since Jim Scott kind of got after him a little bit just before halftime, or just at halftime.
You got to wonder whether Jim Scott is happy right now or a little bit upset. Maybe he doesn't want to pass so much in these instances. Intercepted.
Oh my goodness, it goes from bad to worse as Brown's first pass is picked off. Chris Cleary. And the Spartans have great field position here to start the fourth quarter.
A 6'3", 195-pound sophomore from Peru, Illinois.
Well, as I look at the numbers here real quick, most touchdown passes in a game, I don't see a number here. We got season and career. And the season number is only 11. So Garrett Meyer may have put his name individually into the record book here today with 3 touchdown passes already. I have to check that out. I do have another list somewhere, but don't have it right here in front of me at the time anyway.
That was the second interception of the day, I believe, by the Spartans.
And off Nick Nauman. Off the left side, he'll get a yard or 2. That'll be second down.
Eureka is usually a scoring football team, and they just haven't been able to do anything. Credit to our defense here. Even though Eureka hasn't won many games, they've scored in all of them.
Oh, there you go again. The Spartan defense just has been outstanding, especially in the second half. They've given up no second half points in any game this year. That in itself is pretty impressive. Red Harms fights his way for about 5-6 more yards, so it's going to be 3rd and short for the Spartans. But yeah, even that second string has not given up any points for Aurora U.
I wonder if Coach Scott is going to let young Garrett Meyer throw another pass here. He seems to be doing well enough. Just every time he lets go of that ball, it seems like it's a touchdown.
Well, knowing Jim Scott, who is a class act, he's not going to condone throwing the football much more here and giving the appearance of really burying an opponent and embarrassing them. Yep. Spartans are well in command as it is.
I talked to Coach Scott in Spartan Spotlight, and he said he doesn't like his team to win big like that. He doesn't like the 66-3 score, but he said, sometimes you just can't help it. There's been a couple plays in Garrett Meyer's passes where they shouldn't have been touchdowns. They shouldn't have been run for that long, but they weren't. You can't help things like that. Well, players are out there to play.
That's right. You got to play the game, and they miss tackles like that. It's nobody's fault but their own. 4th and short. Quarterback sneak. Meyer, I don't think he's got it.
He wasn't close at all.
Well, Garrett Meyer is not going to get the first down, and somehow running out of the pile with the football was Dane Simpson, the sophomore from El Paso, Illinois. Regardless, the official blew that dead, and once he got stacked up, so Eureka will take over on downs. So just under 13 minutes to go in our game. It's still 44 to nothing Aurora U. Well, it wasn't 14-0 it was a long time ago when that was the score.
That was early in the second quarter.
Seemed like a long time. Well, the first quarter went in about, seemed like 15 minutes, which it was 15 minutes technically, but we went very fast first quarter. Both teams running the football a lot. In the second quarter, not quite as quick, but this third quarter took a lot of time. You score all those points. 1st and 10. Brown across the middle, tipped, picked off. Jason Araki's got it. He's got blockers in front of him. He might go all the way. Couple huge blocks. He's got Kip Daniels in front of him. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown. Jason Araki with a flag all the way back here on one of the huge blocks thrown by a Spartan. That's probably going to come back as a clip. Oh, that's a shame, because what a fantastic return by the big guy, Jason Araki. Craig Vetter's going, hey, I wasn't behind him. I thought that was a legal block from where you're standing. That's tough, though, when you got guys changing direction and got to get the angle to throw a block like that. Big discussion, though, between the officials and the Spartans about what exactly occurred there.
Well, if this counts as an interception.
Yeah, the Spartans are celebrating. Let's see.
Oh, that's good. That'll be Jason Naraki's second interception of the year. Let's take a look at his run into the end zone there real quick.
Well, we'll take another look at it. The Spartans celebrate. All right, well, back to live action. All right, well, didn't quite get it there, but
that's all right.
Take our word for it. That was a fantastic return. Jason Araki, we'll have to check with Lane Stahl about the exact yardage. I didn't catch it exactly, but it was right around 30 yards, and I'm not sure what that was. The official signal personal foul against the Spartans, and then showed the decline thing. Like, how could they decline? It must have been after the play of some sort, maybe. I don't know, but you'd think maybe they'll tack that onto the kickoff. I don't know, but instead, here's the extra point kick
by
Mack. That is good. The Spartans.
Well, you can't do much about that. That's the second interception in a row, and we're probably going to see more of them in this game because all the Red Devils can do is really pass. Fortunately for the Spartans, we're going to get some players up there that are going to make some good plays, just like Jason Araki did. It's going to boost their confidence up, and they're going to need it upcoming in the season.
Well, they are just taking it to Eureka now, and it's gotten ugly, so to speak, here. 51-0 Aurora U. And well, like you say, Jim Scott doesn't try and run the score up. You got to play these guys again next year and the year after and the year after. They're in your conference. The last thing you really want to do in the long run is make enemies. And you don't try and embarrass anybody. It's a classy thing to do. And you know, your players don't necessarily learn from something like this, and it certainly is demoralizing for their players. They're not learning anything either, and you know, your hope is to get better and play hard and learn things as the game goes along. Here's Mack's kick, goes kind of way off to the side, squib, and it's mishandled and recovered, though, at about the 31-yard line is where they'll start from.
You can't help scores like that sometimes. I mean, Garrett Meyer, freshman quarterback, comes in, throws a couple passes, gets 3 touchdown passes that maybe they all shouldn't have been touchdown passes, and that's the Red Devil defense foul. And then Red Devil offense throws a couple of interceptions, and it's going to happen like that if the other team isn't playing well at all.
1st and 10 from the 31. Spartans run a last couple players out there real quick. Matt Skorniak runs out of the field in the defensive line spot. They'll run it right over in that direction, but pick up about 4 or 5 yards. Heath Wilson.
And Coach Scott can't tell his players, hey, you know, don't play as good. You know, he wants them out there. He wants them to play their best games that they can play.
Well, again, the Spartans host Lakeland College next weekend. All part of homecoming.
Come on, Eureka!
Quite a few things going on next weekend. 2nd and 5. A little reverse. Burkett. And Kip Daniels flies through and ropes him, wraps him up, trips him down. I mean, just, that looked like
There's Kip
a rodeo.
Making his a name for himself in this game. In the 4th quarter, just coming out there and saying, hey, I am here, guys.
Boy, that looked like a rodeo act where you rope the calf and flip him over. He just came shooting through there, took him down. 3rd and 6 now.
And I'm still pretty surprised that players like Kip Daniels and Jason Araki are still in the game right now.
Well, they've interchanged some linebackers, and they've interchanged some of the defensive line with some new players, but the corners are all the same. Kip Daniels looking for the interception, and he's got it. He overthrew his receiver, and Daniels is going to be hauled down after he hauls the pass in.
And that's Kip's 2nd interception of the year. I mean, you can't help things like that. Coach Scott realizes that, and we realize that, and it's just poor play on the Red Devils team.
Mark Brown, they're down by this much. They're forced to try and go to the air. He just way overthrows Josh Champion, who's out there. And Kip Daniels from his free safety spot hauls it in, and Champion fought off a block and was able to bring Daniels down. There you see a shot of Kip, and right there with John Cooper saying, good job, young man.
And the 4th interception of the day for the Spartans. Only if every game could be like this, but
Oh boy.
we know we got some tough opponents coming up in the schedule.
First,
Hopefully this game will scare them a little bit.
yeah, 1st and 10, Aurora U, another new quarterback in for Spartans. Hand off to Shields. He breaks one tackle and almost broke that for a long gainer. Indeed, he does get 9 yards, but boy, he almost had more there. Adam Johnson, the junior from East Aurora, a local kid, in at quarterback. Grant Shields picks up 9 yards in that play. Of course, his younger brother Jake is standout for Plainfield High School this year. Probably the top running back in the area. Didn't play much last night though, and his team's win as he sprained his ankle early in the game and watched his teammates demolish their opponent regardless. Speaking of getting demolished, boy, a couple of hard hits right there on Grant. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 1. 38-0. Plainfield beat Geneva last night to spoil the Vikings' homecoming.
Seems like every time I'm up here, you're talking about how Geneva lost.
Sorry to break that up. Again, folks, Chris Klavinsky, junior from Geneva. There's a hand off the inside, 1st down yardage, and then some for Luke Schumacher. But Plainfield now 7-0, 5-0 in their conference play. Their Suburban Prairie Red Division.
Well, I've never seen the Spartans lose, so maybe if I could head up to one of them Geneva games, I can never see the Vikings lose.
Well, there you go. Take some of that good luck along. The big upset, though, last night, Streamwood downing Wabansie Valley. The Warriors now tied for the lead in the Upstate 8 Conference. 20-18, Streamwood pulls it out. Hand off again, Schumacher bounces off one defender and is get about 7 more yards. But Streamwood now 2-5 and overall and 2-3 in the conference, and the Warriors dropped to 5-2 overall and 4-1 in the Upstate 8. And it came down to the last seconds of the game and a short. Well, that was probably the problem. It was only a 21-yard field goal attempt for Drew Weimer. This is the kid who hit a 46-yarder earlier in the year to win a game. He tried a 21-yarder last night and hit the upright. No good with only 39 seconds left, and they lost by 2 points, and that 3-pointer would have won it, of course.
It's a terrible thing to happen to a young player like that, but unfortunately they're going to have to go through things like that.
Well, Nick Nauman into the pile, and then a couple of Spartans piling on there at the end, but he's going to be close to the 1st down. Oh, he's got it. 1st down yardage. So Spartans will move the chains again, looking to add to their lead. Again, last week the Spartans set a record with a 66-3 victory over Concordia of Illinois. Of course, that point spread a new record. The previous point spread was 53-3, 50 points. Spartans beat McMurray by back in 1989, and boy, they get another one here. They're going to be getting close to breaking that record. Oh, okay, jinxed it right there. There's a fumble on the play. And it looks like Eureka's got it, and indeed they do. Well, okay, that takes care of that idea.
An interesting stat here. The AU Spartans have 11. That's right, 11 quarterbacks.
11 different guys listed as quarterbacks. Well, they did bring in quite a few this year to take care of, try and cover that position, because last year, senior Chris Fallsgraf, I mean, that was his job and his job alone, pretty much. Jeremy Jordan spelled him once in a while, but he was the main guy. But being a senior, they knew they had to fill those shoes this year, so Coach Scott tried to bring in as many quarterbacks as he could. And
a total of 8 of them are freshmen, so.
Oh, there you go.
Brought in a lot of guys.
See who could emerge and take that job. And John Van Opdorp has played well. Jeremy Jordan started the season at quarterback. He has since been injured, and we haven't seen him take many snaps here the last couple games, to say the least.
And John Van Opdorp's doing a wonderful job, and he almost has Garrett Meyer breathing down his neck after today's game.
I'm not kidding. Garrett Meyer just came in. Again, though, when your team's up by 30 points, it's easy to be relaxed, but he came in and did show some great composure. The Red Devils now run 11th player on the field at the last minute. They get a 4th wide out to the far side. They only had 10 players. Here comes the blitz. Look out. They're going to sack him away. He tries to throw the football away and dumps it down. Now the official, no flag. The Spartans are going, come on, that's grounding, but there is a running back right there next to him.
Ooh, that's one of those calls that have to happen, and refs just don't call it.
Yep, freshman Charlie Pulowski from Morton was standing about 3 yards away from where that football hit the ground, so no flag goes down on that play. With Spartans thought that should have been intentional grounding, to say the least.
I'm looking at the Spartan roster and the Eureka roster. Looks like the Spartans have a good number of players more than the Red Devils here, and you can just tell by looking at the sideline. You see a lot of blue over here, and then you see just some white on the sidelines.
Pass Brown is complete to Josh Champion, but he's only going to get about 5 yards, and they needed 10, so it'll be 4th and about 4 or 5, so they'll bring on the punting unit. Yeah, the Spartans here at home game, got everybody dressed, and Eureka, not a large squad to start with. They have been beaten up and demoralized here today.
Looks to see wonder if they can bounce back at all this year. They do play Concordia University, Illinois, and River Forest, and that should be a good game for both those teams.
You saw just a moment ago there a quick shot of athletic director Mark Walsh with some other individuals, and Jim Scott was standing there as well. When your team's up 51-0, you can stand there and talk to the AD and let your coaches handle everything. And his wife Lorraine down there as well. Only in Division III football does your wife get to stand on the sidelines with you. Champion's kick is going to be down at about the 29-yard line. That's where the Spartans will take over.
What are the perks of being a coach for Division III?
Well, that is one of the perks. The other one is you get to carry the bag of footballs yourself sometimes and carry some of the gear. And I've seen Coach Scott do that before. You know, big-time programs, you got guys carrying your own luggage for you. Here, he's got to carry the ball bag and everything else sometimes. Well, again, the clouds come over and it's a little colder, and I imagine even colder on that far side of the field if you're wearing a white and gold jersey. When you're down 51-0, it makes for a long day and a little colder outside. Here's a hand off the right side. Another Spartan running back we haven't seen yet today, and that's
number 28, Brent Harms.
Oh, okay, I take that back. Brent Harms has run the ball one other time before that.
From Flanagan, Illinois.
He picks up 6 quick yards. There's Kip Daniels. He's enjoying a moment to relax. He's earned it here today.
Well, you look at the Spartan sideline.
Take a breather.
You don't see many players complaining about being cold or acting like they're cold.
Late flag. Schumacher gets back to their line of scrimmage, but probably some motion against the Spartans somewhere. Indeed, a legal procedure against Aurora U. Under 7 minutes, 6:59 to go in our game. Again, I'm Steve Moga along with Chris Klavinsky, and our director Matt Neller here on Aurora University Television Channel 17 is proudly bringing you Spartan football live from Aurora University. Go down our crew here real quick. Again, Matt Neller, our director. Technical director Dean Bernal. Julie McLean on tape today. Gigi Betts doing graphics. Camera operators today, Kyle Molenkamp, Alan Long, Julie Moskal, and Buddy Fisher. And they have done a great job. And boy, you have to buy them all at least hot chocolate or something after this. I tell you, another nice run for the Spartans and first down yardage, even though Shields is a little upset he lost his footing. But he did pick up the first down.
I just hope all the camera people are okay tomorrow. It's quite cold out there. Some of them are on top of our booth here. They gotta be getting a nasty one.
Well, I'm probably gonna have to help carry them down. They're probably frozen by now.
Well, I had a blanket up here. I gave it to one of the cameramen, Buddy, and he seemed to appreciate it. He's like,
Yeah, Buddy's up on top, Buddy Fisher, and he gets the brunt of the wind. Hand off, left side going to be close to the first down again. Was that Chris Weber that time? Indeed, 37, Chris Weber, his first carry of the game. Freshman from Poplar Grove, North Boone High School. He'll pick up 9 quick yards. Well, again, our crew, I tell you what, I've done that before. You're running camera on a day like today. Your hands, you can't feel your fingers, and your director's yelling at you to do a nice slow zoom. Forget about it. Or do a fast zoom. It's even harder to do that. You can't move that quick. It looked like first down, and indeed it is.
You're just thinking to yourself, I'll do a zoom when I can get there.
Yeah. Well, real quick, some other high school games. Again, last night, West Aurora won a thriller in their homecoming in overtime. That was 29-22, I believe. Over West Chicago. Schumacher hurdles one defender, gets about 4 more yards inside the 40-yard line. Also, Elgin beat East Aurora 24-7. Marion Central ruined Aurora Central Catholic's homecoming 20-6. Batavia beat up on Fenton 48-0. Lamont, a little bit of an upset over Yorkville 18-13. Canelan downed Herscher 12-0. And Oswego with a nice win over Manuka 28-22. The Panthers looking for a couple more big wins to get into the postseason. That they're going to have Batavia here in a couple of weeks, and it's going to be a tough game.
And we should probably credit our TV studio staff as well for getting us those replays of all those plays.
Yeah, they've done a great job here again today, and thanks to everyone on the crew. We'll get to those names. You'll see them at the end of the game here in the credits as well, but make a specific note of Nadine Martinez, our operations manager, heading up things out here again today. Here's a handoff, fumbled and recovered there. Spartans another new quarterback in the game, and that is Ryan Smith, freshman from East Dubuque, Illinois.
It looked like he tried to pitch that there and just didn't pitch it right.
No, he wasn't sure if he was going to hand off or pitch it, but didn't quite get there. So it's 4th down and about 4 for the Spartans at Eureka's 37. Yep, you hear Dubuque, you think Dubuque, Iowa. Well, yeah, but actually on the other side of the river along the bluffs there is East Dubuque in the Illinois side, or on the Illinois side. There's a quick pitch, left side, he hesitates, surges forward, close to the first down. I think Nick Fortner's got it, the freshman from Flanagan. And indeed he does. The Spartans will hang on to the football and try and tack some more on here. 3:07 to go in our game. There you see the upper left-hand corner of the Spartans. Well in command.
And the clock is stopped for some reason.
Oh,
there we go. It's going once again.
And no sooner than, I think we're trying to set a record for most quarterbacks to appear in one game as well. Ryan Jackman, the freshman from West Aurora, comes in now and he'll hand the ball off. Michael Krebs get maybe a yard.
I begin to wonder if Coach Scott is going to put every player that he has out on the field, or every player that can possibly be out there out on the field.
Well,
I know he's got a few injuries, but
yep, get everybody an opportunity to get on the field and get in the game here today. Well, Jackman, just down the road, West Aurora grad. Pretty good baseball player as well. Nearing the 2-minute mark here. 2-minute warning, so to speak. Quick pitch to the right side. This is Shields. He'll bounce to the outside, get around one defender, and surge forward close to the 25-yard line, and get close to another first down here. Well, don't miss it next week. Friday, October the 13th. Start off things for homecoming weekend. The theme, by the way, Mardi Gras. Ever been to New Orleans? I'm sorry, New Orleans?
I never have.
Me neither. But it'll be Mardi Gras Homecoming 2000 here at Aurora U. And
but it's quite the place during that time of Mardi Gras.
I'm sure. Not so sure that they'll be having total Mardi Gras atmosphere at every event, but certainly that'll be the theme. There's another handoff left side, hit hard, and he breaks a tackle. He could go all the way now. Nice straight arm. Oh, he dropped the football. The ball is loose. Looks like Eureka's got the angle on it, but I thought a pretty good run there for Fortner. All of a sudden, he tried to switch hands, used the straight arm, and lost the handle on the football. He looked like he was going to go all the way there for a second. Well, the Spartans apparently did recover, but it's going to be 4th down.
Well, for Coach Scott, that's got to be something. A blessing in disguise and something that he doesn't like to see. Of course, he's going to yell about that for a little bit, but it saves the Spartans from getting another touchdown in there.
Well, yeah, you want these guys to all get snaps and to do some things, but I also want to see them execute well. And here we go, speaking of executing, he fakes the option, he's going to keep it himself, and he's not going to get there. Not going to get that first down. Stack up Ryan Smith before he makes it there, so Eureka will take over on downs, and we'll see a lot of new defenders for the Spartans as well, as we're going to play our last 38 seconds here. Spartans in command, to say the least. But also next weekend at 2 p.m., it'll be the inauguration of Dr. Rebecca Sherrick, the new president of the university, here in the University Quad. We'll have a little celebration after that, and then Friday night will be the Alumni Hall of Fame Awards banquet. And then, of course, some alumni events the next day, the next morning, and then the football game at 1:30. And then post-game party after the game as well. Hand off up the middle. That could be our last play of the day, but we want to say thank you to Tom and Nancy Zara for 12 years. They were here at Aurora University, some pretty memorable years to say the least. They've had a lot of farewell send-offs here over the last couple of months, but Dr. Sherrick officially, she took over July 1st, but she's going to be officially inaugurated here next week, and she's now hopefully not the unlucky 13th president of Aurora University, but she comes in from Waukesha, Wisconsin. There's a big hit to end this game, and Spartan defense gets one last knock-in on Eureka, and they preserve the shutout. Spartans with a big win here today, 51-0.
Just a score like that, you can't help sometimes. And they got it. Nothing wrong with winning a game. And it was a big win. They're 3-0 in their conference now. And from what we'll probably understand is Concordia University of Wisconsin probably won as well. So we're still tied for first in the conference. 3-0. Aurora Spartans 51. Eureka Red Devils 0.
Indeed. We'll quickly go over the scoring plays. If we got actually, Matt, do we have enough time to go down these or not? To check on that. All right. I just want to go down these real quick. Anthony Armstrong got on the board from 5 yards out for the Spartans at the 9:28 mark of the first quarter. Ryan Glab added the extra point. It was 7-0 Aurora U. That's how the first quarter ended. Spartans with the key in that first quarter was getting a fumble recovery at the 5-yard line. Eureka looked like they were going to tie the game up, and they fumbled at the Aurora 5. Spartans took over from there. And early in that second quarter, Anthony Armstrong again scored, this time from 13 yards out. Ryan Glab added his second extra point to make it 14-0. He added a field goal with 1:20 left before halftime of 21 yards to make it 17-0. The Spartans had to use a timeout, though, to get that field goal off, and they needed that timeout later because they tried to stop the clock and get the ball back, and they would have gotten a shot at the end zone after the Eureka punt, but they didn't have a timeout to stop the clock, and the time ran out before they could do so. And that's the way we went into halftime, 17-0 Aurora University. Then they really turned it on. Jim Scott had a few words for his guys before they left the field at halftime, and they came back out in the second half a different team. John Van Opdorp went 51 yards to Paulie Forsyth. Paulie turned in a nice little catch and then just turned and made a great run for the touchdown at the 12:42 mark of our third quarter. Ryan Glab added that extra point kick to make it 24-0, and the Spartans really just asserted themselves at that point and never looked back. Garrett Meyer came in at quarterback, hit Tyson LeBlanc on a crossing pattern. He did the rest, 85 yards, a school-tying longest pass from scrimmage and longest touchdown pass. Ryan Glab added that extra point kick at the 5:55 mark of our third quarter, and it was 31-0 Aurora U. They added some more. Only a couple minutes later, Garrett Meyer again, this time 32 yards to Tyson LeBlanc. A extra point attempt was wide left, and it was 37-0 with 2:13 left in the third quarter. And then Garrett Meyer added a third touchdown pass in less than a 5-6 minute stretch. This time he hit Rob Bigham, who turned it into a 78-yard jaunt. And Ken Mack came on for the extra point kick to make it 44-0 with only 7 seconds left in the third quarter. And that's the way the third quarter ended, 44-0 Aurora. And they tacked on one more. Jason Naraki with, I want to say about a 32-yard interception return. We never did get the official number on that, but he returned it, had a couple great blocks for the touchdown. Ken Mack added that extra point at the 12:44 mark of our fourth quarter to make it 51-0 Aurora, and the Spartans had a few more shots there late in that quarter, but again, they're not trying to run up the score on anybody and embarrass them. And Jim Scott and his staff, the typical class act, didn't do that. Got some guys some playing time, and boy, hopefully that all bodes well and builds for next week.
And he had more than an opportunity to do such a thing. He could have probably scored 2 or 3 more touchdowns in that fourth quarter, but decided not to. And that gives a lot of credit to their team and how they are, the character of them.
Indeed. Well, you see the Eureka to the right side huddle up. It's going to be a long trip back for them. But they fall to 1-5 overall, 0-3 in the Illini-Badger Conference. The Spartans improved to 3-2 overall, 3 straight wins now after a couple season opening losses, and 3-0 atop the Illini-Badger Conference. Well, Chris, thanks for helping me out here again today. Great job on your part. And
it's been a good day. Thank you very much.
As well as our crew again. Our director today, Matt Neller. Our technical director was Dean Bernal. Audio person, of course, was Matt Neller as well, doing a couple things in there. Julie McLean running tape. Gigi Betts on graphics. Our camera people today who tried to keep as warm as they could. Great job, guys and girls. Kyle Molenkamp, Alan Long, Julie Moskal, and Buddy Fisher. And also for our operations manager, Nadine Martinez, I'm Steve Moga. And for Chris Klavinsky, thanks for watching Aurora University Television. So long, everybody. We'll see you next week.